And a happy Friday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout. Matt Iwanyk with you here alongside Jay Milne, EST glue guy, and there's a reason I'm laughing right away. And then Damon Bunting, Remax Elite, and now friend of Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you for coming in on this Friday.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, and
drinking the Damon Bunting water.
Damon Bunting, no selfless plug there.
There you go.
But yeah, to be with the glue guy this morning.
Come on.
Let's get this.
It's a good start to
It's
the
one
day.
of them expensive labels. It's double-sided.
Yeah. That's I thought maybe it's only
Slumlord,
one
too.
side we got to turn.
Slumlord, noted slumlord.
Absolutely. Well, like usually when you get like the DeSantis, there's only one.
I think slumlord's a.
He's got the double.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
we
you
get to
got to
see
do it right.
and the viewer gets to see it, even though it's a little distance. I was laughing because we felt bad for you.
I totally
we
got.
felt really bad for you today because Dusty has a big surprise for us, and in comes 4 big boxes, and after it's Italian Center, donuts and Danishes, and you come walking in after because you as glue guy always come. Even you were in this week and you brought in squares for us, so you always come with something. And you're walking in with your little box of Timbits, and we have all these Italian Center Danishes and donuts.
The Italian Center.
Did you go with the 20 Timbit at least? Not the 10?
I did.
Ooh.
They cucked me this morning really bad. I don't know what to say. I'm still obviously taking it all in, but you know what? I can handle the heat. I'll come back stronger next time.
Well,
and maybe I'll maybe I'll have to partner with them and say, listen, guys, I'm the glue guy around here. I'll come and I'll pay for these myself.
right.
But you stay in your lane. I'll stay in mine.
But did you actually open the boxes to see if there was anything in them?
Oh, they're full.
the two
okay,
we opened
fair
are
enough.
full. Would you like one? We got a donut Danish.
Yeah, you know what? Let's see how the first hour goes.
Yeah, we should get some of those in here. Actually, we were just at the Italian Center in Sherwood Park. They opened one up in Sherwood Park, and man, that place, that's dangerous. Have you?
Good dangerous.
Very
I haven't
good
been to the
dangerous.
Sherwood Park one.
It's great.
But I grew up on the Italian Center because my mom's Italian. So
But you probably grew up on the original
but the
OG downtown
Little
95th
Italy. Street
Yeah.
or whatever it is. That's home almost.
That's like going back in time when
It's
you go
wonderful.
in there and you see like the fruit stands or all those old, they're grocery style stands. They still have everything the same.
That's true.
You know the best we went there and we grabbed a quick lunch. We had a soup and sandwich, my wife and I. And then we went and I said, we got to get sandwich meat from here.
Always.
And it's like, okay, sandwich meat is sandwich meat. No, it's not. This sandwich meat. And I'm kind of a Sopranos nerd. So the way that they cut
gabagool.
it, the gabagool, the capicola, the mortadella. I can't even say it. I'm doing it a disservice. But the way they cut it, so when you go to any other grocery store, no free ads, right? I won't say anything. They cut it and they put it in that plastic bag and they give it to you in a pretty much a cheap Ziploc.
Yeah.
Well, here, first thing they do is they grab the meat out of the cooler. They ask you how you want it sliced. So I'm a thin slice guy all the way around. Doesn't matter the kind of meat. They cut it thin. They put it on a piece of parchment and they bring it over and they say, "Is this good?" So yeah, that's good thickness. And then they say, "You better try it."
Yeah, you always have to try it.
Every
They give you
time.
that little
You
cut
do.
so you can get.
Yeah.
It's a free sample basically.
It's
Anyway,
a shameless.
sample.
Like, nope, don't like that. So
Yeah.
you go sample 20 meets, and then you're
And
like,
you go back
actually,
to-
what was the
Can
first
you
one?
cut that again? I don't think the thickness was quite there.
Yeah, right.
But then they layer it in layers, individual layers parchment.
Yep.
And then they fold it in that nice brown paper. And you feel like Tony Soprano when you're at home, because I know we've all done this. Well, maybe not you. You don't have kids. Are you a sandwich meat guy? Just on your-
well, I get it. Yes, I have it.
Well, having kids with lunches,
You make a
you
lot,
have to have
right.
sandwich meat going. So I'm
Well, I grew up with that in my fridge at home.
Yeah.
because my parents.
right. And you go in there and
you
there's a
just grab
crisper.
a piece.
And
piece.
you feel that you open the paper and you have a piece of that. I will strongly recommend the Parmesan salami.
Oh, that is
Oh
great.
my gosh, it's salami
think I've ever had that.
crusted in Parmesan.
Oh, jeez.
That's
Golly,
great. Yeah, meat and cheeses, and the cheese is unbelievable there too. The
Every-
selection, makes your head
everything,
spin. I'm a
olives.
cheese guy.
The olive oil. Just if you want
yeah,
olive oil,
that's
they
right.
got a bunch of olive oil. They just stare and go, how am I going to decide from here?
You know, I think Dusty was talking about the Italian bakery, you know, potentially sponsoring part of this, you know, with the EST. And I think now, after this 20-minute ramble that we're
Well,
about to go
Italian
on,
center, Spinellis.
Spinellis,
It's
let's make it happen.
Honestly,
we'd love more sandwich meat in here.
I don't even need the money. Just give me
Just the
sandwiches.
Give me
Just-
the like. Are you
You want
talking
us-
the pre-made one? You go in and you get the mild or the spicy?
the paninos, like that. Give me, just bring me that once a week, and I
Truthfully-
will plug the hell out of that every single day.
When I heard that there was Italian bakery, a box of Italian bakery being dropped off, I was just hoping and praying that there would be like a couple sandwiches in there too, so a guy could break off a.
Well, we got 2 more boxes that we didn't open, and I don't know what's in those.
Well, they're
Because
definitely
we had the
getting open
donuts
now.
and we had the Danishes. I don't know if it's a bunch of those or if they've thrown other surprises. Like, I don't know anything about all of this today. Like, if I was told ahead of time, I would have given you the heads up. To be like,
I appreciate
hey, Jay,
that.
I understand how glue guy, you feel like you got to bring something in. Heads up, this is happening tomorrow.
And usually,
plan accordingly.
usually I stop at the Timmy's over here on the west end, but I needed gas, so I had to stop in Sherwood Park. So I went ahead and got it then, and then I'm driving in on the Henday, and lo and behold, the bomb gets dropped that my Timbits are totally irrelevant.
So you still brought them, even knowing
They walked
did.
in with them.
you
shamefully.
didn't just crush them in the truck before coming
I
in.
thought about throwing them out, to be honest, but
Honest, just leave those in the truck. Like, just bring the coffees.
Coffees
That
you
is
could be
true. You
like you
bring
could have went.
coffees, yeah.
Hey, I see they brought you that, but I brought you some like the drink.
Yeah, I mean, if your feelings
Yeah.
are hurt, I
They're
mean,
not.
Where,
That's
do,
why I hide
where
it.
do I go?
They're not.
I
I
go
just
to the
got-
pantry.
Damon,
You
I
had like 20 Timbits right there, and you would have been $1 million, and you would have been so crushed and hurt right now.
Damon, you know me. You know that's
I know
not
you
how I
well.
operate.
You could have hit it.
I will be better. This is the challenge, and I will accept it gladly. So thank you for making me better at
I'm in next time he's here then, because I want in on that. It
I might
sounds like
have
it's
to.
gonna
I might have
be
to get the
better
girls
than
bacon
ever.
stuff again.
Okay, so you got to bring Parmesan salami.
Oh,
You got to bring like 3-4 different type
down.
of cheeses. Like, let's get
just
Tapping
bring
at
put
me
a
a
board
charcuterie
together.
board.
Okay, I'll do
Like,
it.
just-
Well, hey, let's talk about something.
I'm gonna put in orders with you now for what to bring in.
Maddie, I'm here at your service, okay?
Going if he's gonna open up this door,
Well, hang on. I heard a rumor.
you could just stop by for 5 minutes, Damon, if you
in.
need to.
Just
Just
you tell
plan
me
your
when.
meetings around him
Yeah.
and just come in here.
I only need 5 minutes. I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, just wanted to see hi. Oh, I see Jason here today. Oh, let me just have a good one, boys.
I heard a rumor. I
About me?
heard no.
Oh, you just heard a rumor.
I heard that there's a draft next Wednesday.
Yes. Well, you texted me about it. You didn't hear the rumor. We talked about it on the show.
I will
You
bring in.
literally sent me the picture of the flash or whatever.
I will bring in a charcuterie board for the draft for the fellas for the draft. Deal?
I'm not. You could do you, Jay. I don't want you to feel like you're obligated to have to always bring something in.
Well,
I just want that because that could be a dangerous precedent.
Oh, I know, but it's a
Right?
big deal. The draft is a
Want to run
big
with
day.
it. Make it a big deal.
I mean, that's a big day.
Just ask him every time.
Yeah, he'll step up.
Then
guy.
let's go. We'll do the
Cool
draft
guy.
because I think for the draft, I don't even actually know how we're gonna do this. Have you guys ever heard the Nielsen Show drafts from 1260?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have.
Okay, so we have the 4 people. I'm the 5th, and I think I have to sit here.
Well, we should get you
I
a
think.
stool.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to get I should just stand
Yeah.
and just hover over everyone.
You guys
Well,
go
why don't
so
you have,
many
you have
rounds.
a Tiger Woods cutout? Why don't you get a you cutout? And you don't even have to be there. You can be in the comfy corner there.
bring a nice chair.
Yeah.
Well, we actually did think because we cut a hole in this wall here for cables to the other room. Because initially we were running off the other computer in our main studio as opposed to running off a laptop we have in here, and that didn't work. Big issues. But I was thinking of just running a camera. I could just sit in there, and then no one could influence the commissioner while I'm,
Call.
Well, are you saying you are, privy to being swayed?
I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no.
Oh, that's a yes.
I have never.
It's a yes.
I have never been bought in the Nielsen Show draft once.
Okay,
I
well.
stand by my principles. I stand by my integrity. That said,
Allegedly.
there is a
Allegedly.
price. There's always going to be a
There's
price,
always a
but
price.
no one has ever asked and has offered something that has met my price. I'm not cheap.
Do you
Like, I
like, do you
ain't
like
cheap at all.
tapenade? Fancy tapenads?
Trust me, the bar's high. For me to give up, to impact the true integrity of the Nielsen Show draft, the prestigious Nielsen Show draft, it's going to be high.
Well,
It's going to be high. That's
No
all
one
I
has
can
to
say.
know.
it is an esteemed position that you hold, and it's
Absolutely.
very few people could do it. So I commend you for that. It's coaches, right? Fictional coaches.
I have no idea.
Hey, Dustin.
Well, that's the idea.
Fictional coaches.
Fictional
as a
coaches,
draft.
so like movies and TV shows. I guess books. It's fictional, but I think we'll stick to movies and TV shows. Like
Books.
I don't know.
That's a good one. Books.
That would really.
Who's the assistant coach on Waterboy?
That guy?
Yeah. Like, he'd be my top pick.
Damon, don't tip the
there-
picks here,
if
okay?
They're all talking out there. They're not
If
listening.
there's a
Okay,
glue
good.
guy,
That is
That's
the glue
him.
guy for the water boy.
Coach is gonna go early.
My
Coach
buddy
from Coach.
my buddy Sickler texted me. You know Sickler. His mom makes every year and has since we've been like adults every year for my entire family, not just me, but my whole extended family because we're family friends. She makes the most delicious gingerbread cookies.
oh,
And she is infatuated with the color purple.
Okay.
Like I mean it. Like they bought couches from Yvonne's Furniture, and purple leather. Like it's a commitment. Purple hair, purple
Oh,
paint on the walls. Like it's her thing. Everybody knows
seems like a lot.
her as the she does it. She
Does
pulls
she?
it off well, gracefully.
Okay.
Yes,
But like a purple couch with purple wall. I don't know. I feel like that might clash.
No, it works.
Okay.
It works. Yeah. And she pipes each gingerbread cookie with purple icing and then writes each name of the recipient on the gingerbread cookie as well. So he's chimed in and she's ready to go for whenever I call on her for
We're back to what you're bringing in.
like
Because we were
customized.
talking about coaches there. And
No, for whatever I'm
that's
bringing
where
in.
I'm like,
No, it
I
was
was trying to figure out where the coaching angle comes in on this.
No, Matt. I'm trying to direct
You're
something
still,
here.
you're still stuck on
I'm
that.
still stuck on my role as the glue guy, okay? I mean, that's what I should be doing. So she is ready to go and be dispatched for when I need the EST personalized gingerbread cookies.
Well, that's a perfect December thing,
It is.
right?
Oh, it'll
Like,
happen.
with Christmas. It's actually almost Bailey season around here.
Well, it was beer of the week.
Well, I had a rule at the old station. Me and someone from the Bear, just Jackson. For years, we always started December 1st. We'd start bringing a bottle of Bailey's in because, like, it's great. Bailey's at Christmas time. You're in
works.
the holiday spirit. The moment like Jan 2 comes, you're an alcoholic, right? Like,
Oh, no.
so like you have to, when you get the chance to do it, you do it when it's socially acceptable. So then we went like, okay, when can we start doing this? And we realized when the first radio station switches to all Christmas music, that's when we go.
What
And
is
Chris-
the
and
date
Chris-
for that?
November 12th.
Oh, right.
No
after
one ever
Remembrance
does it
Day.
Remembrance Day. November 12th. This year, November 12th, I think it's a Sunday. There will be a station that goes Christmas music, which means it's Christmas season, which means it's Bailey season. It's going to be wonderful.
November 12th, eh? That is early.
Oh, yeah.
that
That's
is
when you're in stores and everything, too. It's almost like Halloween's done. Boom, Christmas.
There was a commercial I saw, I think, for Walmart yesterday that was talking about Christmas and stuff. And they were like in like the workers were in like Halloween stuff, and then the Christmas lady came in, and it was like, geez, like we're not even finished Halloween, and we're talking about it.
That is
Yeah.
all I'm going
Moving
to hear
on,
in my
right?
car going forward. That when the
Christmas
Christmas music comes on, it's on.
Oh, it's go time.
Yeah.
Like
It's
this is what you want.
This is what I get because my wife
Yeah,
is,
okay.
is
Because I was
really
going to
into
say,
it.
as
The
glue
girls,
guy,
my girls
to
are
not
into
turn
it.
on EST would be a little hard. But if it's wife, okay, that's
Matt,
you know,
I'm
what-
sorry, but you fall below the ranks
100%.
of-
No,
of-
I
of
say
my-
if it
my
was your
beautiful
choice,
wife,
I would have been a
who's
little
probably
concerned.
she's listening right now.
Yeah, no, and if that's what she needs,
She
absolutely,
likes it.
I'm good.
Well, we're big Christmas people at our house too. So I mean, to get the festive vibes going is it's good. It's good for the soul. I love
I agree.
Christmas. Christmas is
Favorite
my
time of year.
Christmas
Is it?
is my
Love
favorite
it.
time of the year too, by far.
Why?
It's, well, I mean, it's always been. I mean, there's just great traditions.
Yeah.
There's good food. You're with family. You're with friends. Most people are in a good mood.
Yeah,
That's why I love online shopping, because then there's a lot of people that are not in good moods, and I'm just, leave me alone. I'm going to go back in my car, listen to
afford the
Christmas music.
Eat some Timbits.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some Boney M rocking,
Oh, yeah.
right? Rah rah Rasputin. At least no one died. I mean,
That's-
Feliz Navidad. When we were growing up, that's what we thought it said.
Really?
At least no one died. Yeah.
Really?
No joke.
I don't want to get into Christmas songs that are weird, but do they know it's Christmas? Band-Aid one that
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of like,
Kind of depressing.
well, it's about kids starving in Africa.
Yeah.
That's a big Christmas song we played, which is a little weird.
Yeah.
Little off topic.
Yeah.
I wonder how much money they raised for that.
Let's find out.
You should look it up. Those were great videos, though.
Weren't they?
They
I'll
were
still
good.
throw them on every so often.
Have you seen the Saturday Night Live Save the Chickens?
No.
Oh, I
It
haven't.
is unbelievable. And was it David Spade was Tom Petty,
Oh, great.
and Sandler was Axl Rose. Chris Farley was one of the Wilson sisters.
Those
it
were
was
the
a-
days of Saturday
Those
Night
were
Live.
the days. Yeah.
They're just not there anymore, at least from, I don't know, like that was
No.
the prime time of Saturday Night Live, was it not?
Yeah, I think Saturday Night Live was a show that, like, week in and week out, it was killer. Like, it was really hard to have weak weeks. And now it's like you watch it to try to get that 1 week where, like, okay, they had a great episode this week. Like, Pedro Pascal last year was incredible. That episode
love that guy.
was amazing. And a lot of the other episodes, they're just like, okay, there maybe is a good skit, maybe
Yeah.
two. But it's just not the same
You look
right
for
now.
the one hit versus in the past, it was the one dud.
Yeah.
But like Phil Hartman, that whole crew,
Ooh, legendary.
that's tough to beat. I mean, that kind of just goes back to, who's the best dream team, right? You can go back eras, but I don't think SNL is even up for conversation. when the
Well, I
best
mean,
era
there was a
was, right?
time where Chris Farley, David Spade, Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, Phil Hartman, those guys were all rolling at one show. And I mean, I'm sure I believe Kevin Nealon,
Mike Myers,
Mike
Dana
Myers,
Carvey.
Dana
Oh,
Carvey.
Yeah, I wasn't. That's not my
Jeez.
era. That's
That
before
was-
my time. My era was the Tina Fey, Amy Poehler's, Bill Hader's, like
Tracy
that. type of-
Morgan.
all that. That's the era, which was a great follow up.
Andy
era.
Samberg.
Like you couldn't. They did really well transitioning from that one. Right now, it's a little rougher. By the way, that Band-Aid song in 1989, it raised £8 million.
Wow.
They had hoped it would raise £70,000. So kind of.
70,000.
Yeah. So they kind of.
Well, that's because they didn't donate themselves.
They donated their time.
Their time, yeah.
Their time and their energy into recording that song.
My
that
time is
now,
worth this much.
Damon, how many apps do you keep open on your phone? Like in the background?
I would say I'm usually
I guess the question isn't
half a
that.
dozen range.
It's like,
I'm about
are-
half a dozen.
do you actively shut them down like once an hour kind of thing? Keep checks on it, keep tabs so that you're like Dustin had.
They had
He
like
had to
40
have-
some. He like every
wow.
app he had on his phone, he had it. And then
Why is my battery draining?
that's what he says. Although somebody pointed out, and I haven't had time to read it fully, you're actually not supposed to close them on an Apple.
Really?
What do? Leave them?
You're supposed to leave them because apparently, like, I still can't, like, we're doing the show, so I couldn't fully go into it. There's something about with apples, it puts them in like a hibernation. And that actually is worse.
So
I don't know.
hibernation meaning we can't track you, keep all your apps open.
Well, that's probably keep them open so
Maybe.
we can.
What
track
line of
you.
work is this person in?
Because like Android, I shut it down all the time. I probably do it a couple times an hour.
I'm pretty used to that. Like
Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
Can you go like so how easy is it to close your apps? Do you have to like
Go-
actually do each one individually?
You go up. See, I don't even have any. Okay, just
Okay, you got to do it each individually. Because with Android, there's just a button to close all, and I could click it and they'll all just close.
Yeah,
Ooh, look at that.
So it's a very quick 2 buttons. I could always just keep
Wow.
refreshing it.
I did have some. Open
I'm one of
there.
those Android people.
I guess, hey. I actually have one app that's always open, and it tracks your mileage. When you start, when you stop. So CRA loves this, right? Because, I mean, I'm all over the place, showing houses everywhere, right? But it's great. So, and then what you do is once that trip is done, then you can categorize it. It was work, personal. I was actually a passenger in a car. It's very good. So that's one that I always have open.
I would never have that open. I don't know why. You know, there's so many apps that can track you and keep tabs on you, and it's just scary to me. I don't really need anybody to know where I am or where I'm driving.
They already have it.
You know,
Like that's the thing I go to.
Well, you just told everybody on the air your route today.
yeah. Come at me. I'll see you on the Henday, dog.
And now then they've tracked all of it. That's like now being sold for
It is nice
dozens
though,
of dollars.
if you go on maps and you can see where things are clogged up and things are slow.
And you know how that happens.
I know how that happens. It's scary.
It's because it's analyzing
I know.
all cars at that moment and seeing where cars are. Like
You're tracking everyone else.
there was
I
a
think
guy. There was a guy who took a bunch of androids, threw them in a wagon, and walked down a quiet street very slowly to cause a traffic jam, quote unquote, on Google Maps to see how it was. He had like dozens of phones, and all of a sudden on Google Maps on a street that was completely dead had the full red traffic jam.
Wow.
So yeah, no, it's great.
Well done.
It's great to drive around and you get to see what's going on, but it's because they're tracking us.
Well,
They're
and it's all it
tracking us.
is that it's taking your private information and sharing it to the world.
Yeah,
But oh wow,
it makes things more convenient.
It
But
does
most
make
of the
things
world
convenient.
doesn't care. I mean, I don't want to burst your balloon,
Hey,
but
no balloon bursted here.
just saying, right? And same for me. I'll admit to that too. But
Except the CRA, maybe, since you're keeping track.
yeah, so I keep that one app open.
Yeah, that's that's the only one that maybe is interested in this. How do you two know each other? I don't think I've ever one, because you know everyone, and I'm assuming you know you know Hustler from Winnipeg, like that.
Yeah, that was back in the day. Yeah, it was great. He was in town, but we can talk about that.
Yeah, we grew up going to church together.
yeah.
So yeah, Damon's family's been involved with that church for quite a long time, and we grew up in I think my brothers and your brothers played football against each other. He was a Sal scumbag,
Whoa.
and I was a Facey winner. At least when I played there, but I think when my brothers played there, they destroyed you guys too.
No, that's actually
Just kidding, Sal.
that's false.
My Wildcats is coming out.
That
and
face,
I
I
do
think, was
love you
the
guys.
good school when I was going through high school.
Yeah.
I think.
When
that
did
was the
you
one.
graduate?
08.
Oh wait. Well, usually it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
So to be clear, 93. I graduated in 94. We were city champs.
Oh.
Facey was not.
No.
And
My
his brother, I played against him. Actually, funny story. So my wife was a Facey girl, and we never ran into each other until well after we graduated, after university and everything. And they didn't see, Sal would have a 10-year anniversary. Facey couldn't even do a 10-year, so they had to do a 15-year.
cheap shot.
So I attended gladly, and you walk in and there's like this football shrine. They have like the shiny yellow jersey and blue helmet. Bad colors, I have to say. We're like red, black. But anyways,
Did you
we
say
walk
yellow
in.
and blue are bad colors?
What's
He did.
that?
He
Did you say
did.
yellow and blue
For
are bad?
Facey.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, so we walk in. I'm like, this actually was really well done. I just had to bring my 93 championship ring.
Oh.
So I would shake people's hands. I'm like, hi. And they're like, get that away. I was like, wow, I was invited.
Kiss the ring.
Yeah. And actually
Bow down.
in the bathroom, they had a big chalkboard. So I kept writing on there, Sal Comp 1993 champs. And his brother, I would go in the back. He's like, he would go in there and he'd start scrubbing it off, right? But it was a lot of fun. Some did not appreciate that. But you know what? It was an incredible rivalry. But so many of us were buddies after. But I mean, that's how sports is many times, right? But I remember watching Jay. I was coaching a few years, and I would still go out to watch some of the games.
stunk. When I was in high school, we were really bad. I won 3 games in 3 years at the high school level.
At least it didn't go over.
And you know what? Every one of those games, every win was against Holy Trinity.
But they would kick a lot of field goals.
They were, yeah. I don't know. We summoned the power.
Bend don't
in.
break defenses.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
What
yeah,
position did you play?
I was running back
Oh.
in high school. So, and then I went on to play Huskies, and then realized
and then you went
I wouldn't.
Huskies.
I know.
There's another rivalry between you
There's
guys.
another rivalry. Yeah.
Both my older brothers played Huskies too.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
You went against the family?
Well, I couldn't do it. I couldn't black and gold. Blech. I couldn't do it. Little secret about Damon, actually. Well, tidbit. This came in from my buddy Sickler as well. He was at a handball practice at Clover Bar Junior High, which you attended, correct?
Yes.
So Damon still holds the record for the 400-meter sprint or race at Clover Bar.
Oh. Wow. So I do. That
That goes on the business card now.
I
Real
probably-
estate agent,
Yeah.
holder of record X.
At Clover Bar.
But it's funny because even there, I hated the 400. It's a tough race, but I mean, everybody would always want to run the 100, right? And actually, there was a couple guys that I would never really ever beat. But my coach's like, "You're built for the 400." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And they're like, "You just basically, it's like a long sprint." And every race I was in, I would race, and then I'd run right to the garbage, and I would throw up. And it was a lot of fun. It was a good race, but wow, Clover Bar back in the day.
We actually at one point started a media company as well.
Oh, JB Media.
JB Media.
The two of you?
Well, it was a conglomerate, I would say, of some other. It was a total joke. It wasn't a real company. We would, and this was several years ago. So I mean, and it was actually just good, honest fun. But we had a friend of ours that his nickname was John Bon, right? So John Bon, JB Media was formed purely for the reason that we would then get together for wings and libations for JB Media to have, work meetings.
As you would.
As we would. We needed to plan
have
our...
those meetings.
Then it became a thing during Christmas season where JB Media would go and attend Christmas parties at Northlands, Shaw Conference Center.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Did you know these Christmas parties?
No.
So this is Wedding Crashers, but
You
Christmas
would find
crash.
people you would know, and that was your cue to leave.
Yeah.
But Wedding Crashers, I've never watched that in my life.
Oh, no?
Nope. And it's a great movie, I am
It
told.
was
It's like,
very
you know what?
reminiscent of that. But we would do it up. Like,
Yeah.
you would come in shirt and tie. Like, it was not
Well, you're joining someone's Christmas party.
We are, and we would fit in.
Was there
And,
scouting missions to like which party to go to?
You know
or,
what?
like-
It was a general feel that going to Northlands, say December 10th on a Saturday night, you're going to have a chance of seeing a pretty good well-attended Christmas function, whereas you will not be suspected as somebody that shouldn't be there. And it was honest, just good fun. But we would, sneak in and like, "Hey, Joe, how you doing?" In fact, one of them was the Brick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Hence why Yvonne's was formed.
We can do better.
I think one of the tips, like you get one person to go in early. And then you all come in and, "Oh, hey, Steve." And it looks like, oh, you know someone there and stuff.
There was
Yeah, there's different strategies,
Yeah.
for
different
each
approaches
party.
for sure. Yeah, there was ones that were tighter, like they had somebody at the door. A lot of them didn't, and you'd come in like
Well, because who crashes a Christmas party?
JB Media. That's who.
That's one, like, no one's prepared for that.
No, that is not in the emergency plan for the company.
I don't think a
Christmas
company
party.
planning their Christmas party is like, okay, we've got drinks, we've got food, we got security at the
Yeah.
door, so there's any crashers. Yep.
And we have contingency 2 tables where they just go to the corner and not have to mingle with our folks. But most people enjoyed us being there.
Oh, we brought.
Well,
the
you guys
party.
would be fun.
Yeah, we brought the party. We were I think at one point we were on stage dancing at one of these. Like got brought up on stage.
So this is Wedding Crashers.
Essentially.
Like, because they became the party often when in the movie.
Yeah, minus the latter part because it's just a bunch of
like
dudes.
the first 10-minute part of
Yeah.
it, where they're just at every party.
Good, honest
They're
fun.
they're giving a toast.
Yeah.
You know,
We're cheersing Ron for his 50 years of dedication to the industry.
Yeah.
You know, way to go, Ron.
you're an inspiration to all of us.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here without you, Ronnie.
But there'd be some that would be on to you. I remember there was one company, a big company, and they, I don't know if we say or not, but one guy's like, hey, what department do you work in? And a couple of guys used to work there. So they had all the lingo, everything. Like, okay. So then they were legit. So then we were legit. But we would have we'd have the calendar first. I mean, do you remember the first real event?
Remind me.
So, well, it was a Saturday night Oilers game. So I was able to get a bunch of tickets because that's when we weren't, when I was in sales there, we weren't filling the building anymore, right? That's where the team wasn't as good as it was.
Former
years
Oilers
previous.
sales guy, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's I think there's plaques all over the wall at the Oilers office for that too, just like Clover Bar. But no, but so they would just say, hey, if you have a group of guys that want to come, 10, 15, here's tickets, right? So there was one game where we went to the Oilers game, across the bridge over to Northlands, now Expo Center. And but we already had the calendar of events. And one other guy was able to he had passes for, I think it was some function for Miss Canada, which came with tickets to the Offspring or something backstage. So then we're like, okay, well, this is going to be a great night. Oilers game, awesome. And then you go over Christmas parties. And we ended up not going to the Miss Canada event, went to the Offspring. We're all in suits. So you're walking around and then these kids are like, okay, well, we're playing up like that. We're security. So we're just sitting in the back and we're going like this. And you just nod to kids and they're just like this. And then we ended up, I think, selling our backstage passes, made some money while we're at it. And then we just, from there, I think we moved on to Hotel Mac and a few other places.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like most times, and actually there was a wedding party. There was one occasion being in Invermere and being invited to the offsite reception party after by the bride and groom. They're like, you know what? You guys
brought
are
the
a lot
fun.
of fun.
This is Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Like
So-
literally when they go to the island in
Exactly,
Nantucket or whatever
like
it is.
she goes and begs the Secretary of State or whatever to bring them all over, and they all come over.
Well, like I say, it was well received. Like it was a good crew. No, it wasn't like everybody's just going there and get like drinking. It was just there to see how long we could do it and see if we would get discovered.
Did you get kicked out?
Yeah.
Were there times?
Yeah, I think we got like kind of we got removed.
Couple times.
Yeah, once or twice for
We
sure.
just asked nicely.
Yeah. Like the gig's up, boys. Let's move along.
No, we
So we
were
just
very
go from Hall B
respectful
to
and it
Hall
just-
C.
Yeah. And then go back to Hall C.
Yeah.
I feel like the return of JB Media needs to.
It's got to start somewhere.
We were looking
There's
at
been
an
rumblings.
anniversary get together.
Yeah, there's been
it's-
rumblings because now we could really pull it off because we're much older, so we'd fit into that.
Yeah, but we would actually remember Joey's downtown. They had that private room.
That's right.
Excuse me. So it was like a big, we treat it as our boardroom. So we would go there and have a Christmas dinner, and we would just have State of the Union. Like President JB would have his address, and we would go through, all our business points. Nobody took meetings, meeting minutes.
Yeah.
But so that's where we would start, and it was really. There'd be one time where it would be like the Christmas party for our company, and then we would share the love. But yeah,
And we would let anybody crash it if they wanted to
yeah.
take the opportunity. But it was just, it's dudes being dudes.
Yeah,
We're just
Having
doing
a good time.
Having a good time.
it's the Christmas spirit.
Christmas spirit. That's
Everyone
what-
wants.
It
to have a
doesn't
good time.
happen anymore.
No, hasn't happened for years.
Oh, but maybe that's what I'm
maybe
thinking.
it
Maybe
does.
it needs to.
Maybe we'll crash
an
the
anniversary
EST
or something.
Christmas party.
Well, no, our door's always open.
That's
like
true.
that's that. Like to me, like we took our Bell took away our Christmas party few years ago. They stopped doing Christmas parties.
Really?
So we did the unsanctioned Christmas party. We just did it ourselves, but we'd go to a dive bar, the Hilltop Pub by McNally.
Love the Hilltop Pub.
And we'd just go there and we'd just take over the place. And there'd be regulars there, and we'd love that the regulars there. We didn't care who was there, but anyone could come join us. Like,
that's a Yukon spot?
100%. That's how the idea came from, was from you, because Yuke used to live by there. Actually, Yuke might be coming by today a little bit. He used to live by there, and then Eric ended up renting a place from Yuke's wife by there, and Eric spent, like, the Blue Jays run in like 14 or whatever it was, 15. Eric went there for a steak sandwich like every game basically. And we found out like this Hilltop Pub was like the best dive bar you can have. Like, it was great food, and it was just a nice quiet spot. And actually one of the better patios you'll find in Edmonton, because it's just got a great view of where the sun's coming down.
Yeah,
and
it's right
actually,
down, what is it, 106th Ave, where you can see
like
towards
that.
downtown?
Yeah. You're just overlooking downtown, and that's where the sun is, setting and all that. It's actually a great patio spot. And it's a quiet street, so it's not too bad. But that's where we took our Christmas party. It was unsanctioned. We did it for a few years. The unsanctioned Christmas party.
And that steak sandwich was probably $8.99.
It was funny because I think it was like $9.99,
But
but it never changed. Like through all these years, like it never went up, because we felt like they didn't want to pay for new menus. So they just left the prices as is. Like, everything was super cheap. And then they had a fire a couple years ago, and when they came back, their menu changed, and there was a little bit of change. And I think they got rid of the steak sandwich entirely. And sadly, they had another fire a couple weeks ago, so they're closed again. But no, like, it was like, for the longest time, you could get a pizza for like nothing. And like, I honestly believe it was because they didn't want to pay for new menus. They had these menus since like 98, and they're like,
strategy.
we're sticking with these menus. We're not changing these. And you just go in and you had great food for
Wow. And
for
they
a cheap
probably
price.
love the people the regulars.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, hey, these are our people. We're not going to change anything. We don't want to change our people coming in.
Well, after the fire, we went back just because we wanted to see, okay, what's the Hilltop look like post-fire? What changes did they make? What renovations did they make? And we came in, and all they did was change the chairs. The floor was, and the floor, because they had to replace the floor because there was also like a water flooding and stuff. But the walls, everything was pretty much the exact same. Wow. They didn't want to change anything. And we're like, their regulars would have been upset.
I think they take pride in knowing that they're a dive bar.
As you should if you're one of those.
100%.
Those are some of the best places to go.
Absolutely. Okay, so do you want to go, what are your top 3 dive bars in Edmonton and area?
That's a really good question. Well, Hilltop was number 1.
Hilltop's got to be up there.
What Teddy's is nice.
Teddy's, like
I do like
Jasper
Teddy.
Ave Teddies?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Teddy's is a fun spot.
Billy Buds?
Oh yeah, that's where we do our CFL fantasy draft for a few years.
I don't know if it's a dive bar.
That's on that level.
Yeah,
like you go
it's
into
a
that
nicer
place
dive
and there's
bar.
like no one ever in there.
Right.
It seems like
Polar Pub on Argyle.
I don't think I've ever been.
You don't want it. Sorry, Polar Pub. Well, then maybe it's under new management. I'm sure it is.
Actually, one restaurant we went on Saturday before the game, where we met up with Hustler and the boys, but was the Ling Nan Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think it's changed since, I think they've been around since the 60s, early 70s. And so it was my parents' 80th birthdays, my dad that day. So they have a private room in the back, and the owners are amazing. And you just walk in, it's like you're going back in time. Like nothing's ever really changed. And that was a great place to go, right? Because if you would probably ask them, like, so why don't you renovate? What do you mean? Like, this is what the people want, right? But my brother, he discovered it end of last year. He's like, hey, he told the family at a family dinner. And it's like, hey, I found this place, Ling Nan. It's the best Chinese restaurant. My dad's like, yeah, I took your mom there when we were dating. And I don't think it's changed. So my parents kind of full circle went back. And yeah, I think a lot of it was the same.
See, and there's some places that's what it should, like it should,
Yes.
that's what people want. Shanks was funny because when Shanks was opened, they had all these banners, and every banner was from the year they opened. That's what the manager told us.
way.
He's like, yeah, it's all 2000. And we've never changed it because that's when we opened. And we're like, no, you didn't change it because you're lazy. But now you're saying this is because it looked old. It looked dated for what they were doing. But like their thing was, no, this is when we opened. So it's a history to us. And we're like, that's just a convenient excuse for the fact that you don't want to change anything here.
True.
But I miss Shanks so much.
Well, that's the former headquarters of EST, isn't it? Future. Sorry.
Yes, we want it. We want it bad.
There you go.
You're gonna have to hook us up with that one. You're gonna have to find a way to get that deal done in a few years. We're gonna move in there. We're gonna put our offices upstairs. I don't know where we'll put the studio. We'll run the bar downstairs so people can mix shifts.
Have a Cool Bet Sportsbook. Oh, come on, man. That would be so
Cool
fun.
Bet Sportsbook at Shanks. I
With,
think
like,
Dusty's
the
already
ticker.
gone.
He's listening, though.
Yeah,
He's
Dusty,
listening.
if you're listening, when we open up Shanks, we're having the Cool Bet Sportsbook opening up in Shanks.
With like
I know
20 of these
exactly where we can
chairs
do
like
it.
set up in front
Because
of the
they
screens.
have the horse track spot too that they had, so we can open up that one spot, sportsbook at the other. Like this legit is going to be the greatest thing, but it's going to ruin us.
It's going to bankrupt the
We're
entire
gonna
EST.
we're going to last like
By
a
golly,
year,
they're
and then
gonna
we're
do
going to be
it.
done. But it was going to be a memorable year.
At least you know going in.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, the
We'll have
lease
host-
rates there can't be that aggressive because that place has been empty for
Since they've closed it.
Yeah, but wasn't it something else like the Shark Club or something?
No, it was before. No, you're thinking of Shark Club, which was on Stony Plain and what is that, 178th or whatever?
Oh, Shanks was the one
Shanks
in.
is just down the road by the Canadian Tire and the Mark's Work warehouse.
Yes, I know. Yep.
No, the one you're thinking
Terralosa.
of isn't the worst.
Shanks is in Terralosa.
Yeah, just west of it.
I was thinking of the other one on Stony
Yeah, no,
Plain
that
Road.
one's a terrible spot because it's like impossible to get to if you're driving there.
Yes.
Like you can only get there one way on Stony Plain, and it's a very quick turn. And if you miss that turn, you got to take this long way. There's no parking. There's no residential area. It's the worst spot for a bar.
Then you ended up just driving on to Shanks because you missed the turn.
Yeah, you turn left
might
on
as well keep
178.
going and then just go around and get back to Shanks. That's
So
the
do you
way
think
to do it.
Shanks would still have the mini golf course and the
I don't
bowling
think anything's
lanes?
out of there.
It's gutted?
Really?
I bet it's all there. I bet it's all sitting. No, I think it's all sitting there. Oh man. Maybe the pool table's gone.
Well, let's break in there as JB Media. We can break it. I mean,
Not
we'll
breaking.
ask.
How about
no, we can.
we are gonna go take a look.
We
at
can
the
ask
place.
for access.
Set up an access
We're gonna
with our
have a
good friend
representative.
Damon
let
Bunting
us in.
Realty.
Well,
go.
this is a full business move now.
Wow, this is.
We'll write it off. We'll add it all. You could add it on your app for mileage. It's all business.
I know, but that's going to be tricky because if the mini golf is still set up, then like each hole I have to categorize was this word.
Well, we got to test it.
That is true.
We can't-
We're inspecting it.
You can't buy a place that's a mini golf course and not know if it's proper, right? Like I got to make sure I can finish a hole. Otherwise, is there something wrong with this hole?
That is true.
So that's
Can you imagine Edmonton Sports Talk and Entertainment Center? So you have
full sports, everything.
you have all the studios and offices upstairs. Then you have a full-fledged bar and sports book downstairs with mini golf and bowling. I mean,
Golf sim. There's an arcade. If they still have the arcade machine, we could have that going. And then there's the horse track betting.
Right.
Cool betting spot.
yeah, the Cool Bet Sportsbook.
That was a great spot for Christmas parties. We have Christmas parties, and JB Media could crash them all, and you won't get kicked out
We won't get
because
kicked
it's our place. We own it.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys could crash
Yeah.
whatever you guys want, and we're good to go. Like straight up, listeners could come crash whatever they want.
I don't know if
I'm good.
anybody can hear, but the wheels are just spinning in my head.
I can't wait for 3 years from now when this happens.
It's gonna be a great time.
And then in 4 years from now, when we're completely closed, and we write the book on the success, the rise and fall of EST, how we rose to the top of Edmonton, and then we just absolutely blew it.
Make sure it's a top selling book.
And then that'll
Then
be
you
our.
recoup.
Then it's our road to recovery again.
There you
and
go,
we buy
right?
Shanks again.
Do you guys remember? Were you old enough for Bullwinkles?
Oh yes,
Right. And that
A part
that
source
building,
now, Fort Road.
Right. So I
That's
just
right.
missed. They had like an auction sale on everything in there.
no way.
That was left. So you would have had the big like Bullwinkle head, and I don't know how many arcades. I love arcade machines, like the old school. But anyways, I think I missed it by a weekend. I thought so. I would have gone there and decluttered, or I would have cluttered my house with Bullwinkle stuff and arcade machines.
I was more of a Chuck E. Cheese guy.
Yeah, fair.
You know,
I
respectfully.
Bullwinkles, that's where I was as a kid, so I have better memories as a child there than Chuck E. Cheese. I've gone to Chuck E. Cheese recently with my nieces.
It's just not the
bad.
same.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
Me and my brother take
figure.
over the basketball game. And we just play that basketball game, and we keep trying to get, he keeps beating me to get in the high score. But we just go and I have a great time.
I remember
I'm not
at
gonna
Chuck
lie.
E. Cheese is under the stage, right, where they had the creepy mouse sing songs to you. Under the stage, they would have that tunnel that would go underneath. It would start on one side and then it would loop under the stage and come out the other side. For whatever reason, when I was a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing going because there was lights inside and it was just cool. You could go under the stage. So I took my daughters there to the one here on the north side and they had that and I'm like, girls, you got to check out this tunnel. And they're like, yeah. Cool, Dad. I'm like, oh no, the tunnel's not as special as I remember.
Wow, that's too bad.
We're gonna get a retro video game machine here. You have to complain
nice.
because we had one at the station. It had like 10,000 games or whatever, but we only played Tecmo Super Bowl on the SNES. That's it. That's all we played. You could come and join our league.
I was like, you have Techo Bowl.
Yeah,
You know, all the
I'm
kids
good
now.
at
Changer.
The kids now are playing. I forget what the name of it is, but it's like Tecmo Bowl, but it's on a laptop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my daughter was at home the other day and she's playing it, and I'm like, that's Tecmo Bowl, and she's like, no, it's not. It's
Wow.
You have to get the name of this.
yeah, I
'Cause I'm
will
intrigued.
put it out on the thing. If there's people
If
with
anyone
kids,
knows you could put it out too. I could follow. Like you have a microphone.
If anybody, it's not Tecmo. It looks like Tecmo Bowl. It's played on your laptop, and like the kids are all playing it now. And I said, wow, Grace, you're playing Tecmo Bowl? And she said, no, Dad, this isn't Tecmo Bowl. It's something else. But it's exactly the same graphics as Tecmo Bowl, but it's just on your laptop.
eh?
Use your arrow keys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is your team?
Raiders.
Well, so how we would do it actually was we revolved over the years. I always loved. What team did I end up loving? I did end up really enjoying the Cowboys. It was just too easy with them. But then there was lower level teams. I was really good with. I was actually surprisingly good with the Broncos, with the Oilers, and with the Saints. Sam Mills, I was a beast with him
That
defensively.
was good, yeah. So never Raiders? Bo
So-
Jackson?
What was it?
Well, no, we didn't have that one. The version we played, it was Tecmo Super Bowl
Oh, the
on the
Super Bowl.
SCNS. So we didn't have Bo Jackson, which was perfect because then there was no cheat code. And how we'd actually ended up doing teams is initially when we launched our league at the station, we would just go on the joystick and move it around randomly.
Oh, right.
And somebody would yell stop. And then you let
Yeah.
go. And that's the team you got. Then we got into you drew a name out of a hat, basically, and you had to play with that team. And then we got into the next season, you drafted your teams. So you finished
Right.
1 through 4. We all drafted like 7 teams.
That's
We
great.
sat there and we'd make our picks, and then you could only play with those teams. And
Yeah.
we had a wheel, and you spun it, and whatever number it was the team you had to play with.
Nice.
And
Can you bring
then-
it back? I'm in.
Oh,
I'm in for the tourney.
I remember that.
I will
That was-
kill you.
Those were big.
No offense, but I like
Okay.
we're like it will take you a while to catch up to us. As I'm like, and when was the last time you played?
Doesn't matter.
Damon
Yeah, it
grew
does.
up-
Yeah, it
You know,
does.
so it's funny. One of my buddies I worked with at the Oilers, actually, he was the master of the track and field game,
Okay.
the original, right? Unbeaten. And I was at his house, and I destroyed him in the 100 meter in front of his kids.
Track guy.
With 400.
400
Oh, yeah.
meters.
And he's like, "Okay,
He could take that virtually.
He's like, I want to take you on 400. I said, whoa, child, stop it.
That's my race.
I don't even go there. I'll just beat you at the 100. But I love challenges. And
Okay.
you know what? Win or lose, it's still
That'll
the
be fun.
game.
Well, like we always were learning different ways. We were changing our playbook. We were changing
Yeah.
how to roster movement and moving players around. We
fun.
were insane. Like it was actually one thing that got us through COVID because we ended up no one was in the
Really?
building, so we'd go and play that. And it was known in that building. Anyone could use the machine, but between 10 a.m. and noon, Yukon Jack of the Bear, Dusty, myself, and Hernan Salas, we had the machine. We were playing Tecmo.
That's awesome.
And we would yell and kick and scream and like it. We would legit like it would ruin our days. I'd go play a game against Dusty, I'd lose, and then I'd just be mad. Like I'd just walk. We have to go do a show. I'm upset, and we had a great time with it.
That can happen. It can wreck you a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. So speaking of Bo Jackson cheat code,
yeah.
I mean, I was a Bo guy, right?
Yeah.
Growing up. And I hear some people now is like, well, this guy's the best athlete ever. Like, you clearly have not seen any highlights of Bo Jackson.
Like who? Who would they be referring to?
Well, some would say LeBron's the best athlete ever. He could play any sport. Like, well,
He'd be a great tight end, I think.
he would be, but
But
it's
he's
all
not over.
we're speculating,
Yeah.
right? Like, you had
Bo did it.
Bo did it. Dion did it to an extent. They have a cool interview, actually, because between them, they had 4 home runs in a game together.
Oh,
head
really?
to head.
Yeah.
Bo was 3 for 3, three home runs. And then Dion hit a fly. Bo went to catch it, separated his shoulder.
That's right.
And then Dion hit inside the park home run. So Dion's funny. He's like, I always say between us, Bo and I hit 4 home runs in a game. But that was a good a back and forth too. Who was the better then, right? Because they actually did it.
They were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
I'm a big MJ guy. Can't say that
baseball
around
player.
here.
Guy.
And he's not
Baseball
here.
player.
By the way, Dusty did text in saying he's a great idea for the Cool Bet Sportsbook.
Oh yeah.
So
It's
he
locked
won.
in.
Thank you for listening, Dusty. Drive safe. But yeah, he's
How's
on
the
that
Italian Center pastries while you're at it?
Please subscribe, Dustin.
one. Someone did say Retro Bowl.
Retro Bowl.
that what it's
Thank
called?
you. Thank you. Yes.
I'm gonna have to look up Retro Bowl.
That's what it's called.
They're,
And
they're playing Tecmo.
It is the exact same interface, the same
See if I
brutal
can find it.
graphics. It's funny. And here my daughter's playing it. I'm like, yes.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny. We get into, like, we have the Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
strictly for Mario Kart. But like when we
Which
were
Mario Kart?
the Switch, Nintendo Switch. Like
So like the new one?
The new one,
Okay.
the deluxe edition.
So that's it?
That's it. Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
So on this Nintendo Switch Mario Kart, it has every race from every version of NES. Yeah.
really?
Yeah. So you go through and we play that, like if it's, homework's done, getting in between that time where it's not quite time to go read books, but you just have a little chill time. Oh yeah, we'll fire up the.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's legit.
This is like a full-on. Oh, there's a salary cap and
Yes.
What is going on
The
here?
race is making trades and stuff.
Oh boy.
Like it's
Well, see,
real.
you want to know something? This is what the CFL needs to put out.
Sure.
If you want to grow the game, you could probably just do fake names and
Along
stuff,
with their,
and you don't have
along
to
with,
sell the
hey,
players.
Damon, you'd love this. We were talking about this a couple shows ago, but having them bring back the CFL, that is, bring back all the gear from like the Memphis Mad Dogs
US teams.
and
Oh, the Stallions.
yeah,
Wouldn't that be something?
the Las Vegas Posse, the Sacramento Miners.
Yeah.
So
We
the
all buy that
riders
stuff.
used to sell it at their rider store in Saskatchewan, but
Really?
no one else did. The CFL hasn't sold, and now the CFL actually is selling some really nice general CFL stuff, but only Ottawa's selling it. Weirdly enough,
Really?
I don't know why the CFL can't just get everyone involved and be like, here's the stuff. Those retro and US teams, I think would sell really
Like,
well.
can you imagine like
they
a
would.
cool retro Sacramento Gold Miners crew neck or
Thank you
like
for
a
saying Gold Miners.
baseball tee, like the retro style? Like that would sell.
One of the biggest
would.
purchases or non-purchases I ever had was on eBay. There was a legit Miami Manatees hat from when they were announcing that franchise, and it never played. And I didn't pull the trigger. I regret that to this day.
You regret that every day.
To not have a Miami Manatees legit hat.
Do you
That
think
one hurts.
it's available again?
I haven't looked in a while. I might have to,
Wow.
just because. Yeah, that
would
one.
be a
I was like,
find.
maybe I should get it, maybe, and then I forgot about it, and then I went to go look for it again, and it was sold.
Who's your NFL team?
Ravens.
Try to guess his team.
Well, if he's a Bo fan, I'm guessing Raiders.
Used to be. So,
Jacksonville.
What sent you to Jacksonville?
Bo Jackson got injured.
You know the clip off of the morning show, Jacksonville lady?
Oh, yeah. That's my aunt. Well, no, so growing up, I was a big Bo guy, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, when he had his career-ending injury, he retired. And I still like the Raiders, but I just found out, I was like, wait, I don't love them as a team when he left. So then I'm not for people jumping on bandwagons. So I try to live that and try to mentor people. I actually had a chat
Have a
with-
seminar every week
Yeah,
to teach
yeah,
people the
I-
way of life.
I had a conversation with my son and a couple of his buddies. They were over at the house, and we were talking about bandwagon jumping. And but anyways, so what happened was Jacksonville comes out as a brand new team, so that's how I jumped on them, and they started out quite well. We had some dark years, and then
Just a few.
But then, hey, I mean, you get a pro Tom Brady call, Patriots call in 2017, where we should have gone to the Super Bowl. There's all the woulda, shouldas, right?
That's right.
But 5-2. So yeah, big game coming up. 49ers in 2 weeks.
I was just
Is
looking
it in
at
2 weeks?
yeah.
Your Jaguars don't play my Commanders at all this year. Thankfully.
For who?
We need to do
me?
a road trip.
Okay, just making sure you're not trying to feel like
I know who we are. We stink.
We should do a road trip then.
Sure.
They play JB Media. We'll run the tab and see who pays for it.
Sneak into that game. Yeah.
So that's once every 4 years
That game?
when those two teams would play.
Right.
Because you play the division once every 4 years.
They
And
play the Seahawks.
You host them once every. So then hosting is once every 8 years.
They play the Seahawks in December in Seattle, and that would be something cool to get away to.
Seattle's
to go
fun.
see. Yeah. I've never
be
been
a
to
quick
Seattle.
trip, too.
Yeah, it would be easy,
that off.
manageable. My wife and I have always talked about doing that and just leave the kids at home, lock the door,
Seeing, I love the NFL.
put some sandwich meat in
Yeah.
the fridge.
Absolutely.
We're good.
Just call the Italian center. Say like, can you drop some off in like a couple of days?
Yeah.
Again, like just
check
give
on
them
'em.
a little extra cash.
the vitals.
Drop off the donuts and
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
it'll be good.
They can take care of
So
themselves.
why did you become a Ravens fan?
So you might not like this. I don't know. We'll see. All the teams I cheer for, outside of the Edmonton teams that I cheered for, they won a championship when I was 8, 9, or 10. Like in that young age, trying to figure out who to win.
You are impressionable.
So the Ravens, it's around my birthdays, used to be the Super Bowl. Now they moved it a few weeks later, but so I always at Super Bowl time would have family over for like a little birthday thing.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
year the Ravens were taking on the Giants, I said to my brother, like, who should I cheer for? And he's like, pick the Ravens. So I cheered for the Ravens that game. And they destroyed the Giants.
Right.
And I've been a Ravens fan ever since. But then I'm also a Miami Hurricanes football fan. And it's now had a nice little connection because Ray Lewis came from the Hurricanes.
that's
Ed
right.
Reed ultimately
Ed Reed.
went there and got drafted there. And it's just this nice little connection between the Ravens and the Hurricanes. So,
Right.
yeah, like I was a full front runner as a young kid,
Wow.
but I've never bailed on my teams.
You've never
So I've
wavered.
never, like, some of those teams have still been very good. Some of my teams have had some bad years, but I'll stick with them.
See, I can respect that.
Joe Flacco, man. That was your dude.
I loved Joe Flacco. And you want to know something? I don't
Trent Dilfer.
I don't regret
those
Joe
were lean.
Flacco getting that contract after he won the Super Bowl because he won a Super Bowl and he had an unbelievable playoffs. Him and John Elway, I think, tied a record for most TD passes with no interceptions in the playoffs. It was like 12-0 or something. And I'm okay with all those years that came after because he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So is Lamar
thing.
a top 5 quarterback in the NFL
Right now,
right now?
yes.
I think you're right.
I don't think I would take too many other quarterbacks ahead of him. Mahomes is for sure. Josh Allen is for sure.
You think so?
I still like Josh Allen, yes.
Right now.
Right now, yes. I know the Bills haven't fully been the Bills that we expected coming into this year, but I still believe in Josh Allen and what he can do.
Well, postseason, Josh Allen. Or
But that you
regular
can say that about
season?
Lamar.
I was going to, but
Were
keep
you?
going.
Okay, so those two. So I've got 3 in there. I'm trying to have to go through all the players. And
Trevor
stuff here.
Lawrence?
Well, I was going to say, I think Lawrence would now be in that. If he's not in the top 5, he's just on the outside. Justin Herbert's dropped for me.
Jared Goff should be up for consideration.
Burrow.
I don't think I could put him there. Burrow, yeah.
Jared Goff's
I
been
don't
playing
love
lights
Burrow,
out.
but he's good.
Your Ravens did them a number last week, but other than that, the Lions have been playing good football.
They're a good team.
Yeah. Jared Goff's a fine quarterback. I don't think I could put him in the top 5.
Sam Howell.
They should have stuck with Heineke.
Top.
I loved
5
Heineke.
Now I got to see what other quarterbacks were missing. Okay, so now where were you going to go with? Because,
For my top 5,
like, Lamar, is he out then?
he is.
Best
I mean, Lamar's Lamar. Like he's a great.
He's also my fantasy
great
quarterback.
talent.
So
I mean, the one game, excuse me, I watched. He had a rough game. Was it this first or second game of the season?
Lamar?
second game,
I think sacked.
week 2.
So I saw that. Wasn't a very good game, but I would. You
like
go
they're
your
rolling.
top 5.
So
I got
I'll read the. So this was from the end of August. The starting quarterbacks for all 32 franchises. So some of these things are changed. But Kyler Murray's the starter in Carolina. Desmond Ridder with the Falcons. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Bryce Young, Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Tua. We left
Tua.
Kirk Cousins.
is in
Tua
conversation.
is the guy we missed.
Mac Jones, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts,
Jalen Hurts. I was just.
Kenny Pickett, Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Ryan Tannehill, Sam Howell. So,
Brock Purdy would have been
about-
on that list.
What about
you know.
Mayfield? Or sorry, Minshew.
well, he's now the starter wherever. So
Minshew
Jalen
mania.
Hurts,
Hurts is definitely in the conversation.
Tua, Patrick
Mahomes.
Lawrence,
And it would have been Purdy, but he's just.
Burrow, Allen, Jackson. I think would be the top 7 for
Do
me.
you see Brock Purdy's in the concussion protocol now?
Yes.
Did you see why?
No.
Well, they tried doing the tush push, which has been quite controversial. I don't know why. Well, when Philadelphia Eagles come up and it's 3rd and 2, and they just
that's-
push
I didn't-
Jalen
yeah.
Hurts, and I don't know, if you can't stop it, don't moan about it. Like, what's the
Right.
problem with it? But here's the thing: is defenses now, like you saw it last week, a player jumped over and tackled. I forget which quarterback it was, but Brock Purdy, they tried doing a little bit of a tush push, and if it's not ran extremely well, the Eagles run it extremely well. They protect Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts goes down and through the line.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy was up and wide open, took a straight shot, right? Because he's the ball carrier. You can tee off on him at that point. And he is now in the concussion protocol. So if you're not running that with extreme diligence and protecting your quarterback, you're going to find that quarterbacks are probably going to say,
I'm out.
let's hand this off to Christian McCaffrey next time instead of running me
Or
down
the
up
backup
there.
quarterback.
Well, that's where
I've never been a fan of the backup quarterback because you come in, you haven't been playing. You know, depending on the quarterback, you may not be into the game at all. You know, I assume most are, but you got to be realistic about it. You may be checked out for a minute, and then next thing you know, you're going to take a snap from a center that you haven't had a snap from since warm up, and you're going in there to ask to make one play. You're cold. You don't know. You know, like
Unless
I've never
it's
been a
Taysom
fan
Hill
of
or
that.
somebody who's
Somebody
been
that's
playing
active
all over the
involved in the
field
game.
all game.
I've never been a fan of bringing in the backup quarterback to take that responsibility.
It's all
Well,
because it's scared of an
I think
injury.
that's coming back to high school. He was a quarterback, so you were probably pulled out on 3rd and short.
Trust me, if
And
there
he
was
was
anybody
salty
else
about
that they
that.
could run in there, they probably would have. They just didn't have any options.
That happened in the CFL because Kevin Glenn got hurt prior, like the East final before the Grey Cup in, I think that's 07 against the Riders. Ever since then, the CFL has changed it, and they started going with the backup quarterback. I'm just surprised that in the NFL, you spend so much money on your QB, so much guaranteed money.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried about the risk of a potential injury on that. And, like, your quarterback goes down. Like, the 49ers, I think, could be fine without Brock Purdy because we saw it last year. That's a team that almost doesn't matter what quarterback goes in there.
Right.
Just don't turn the ball over. And you have enough weapons that you just have to get them the ball. They'll do things, and you can be fine. But most other teams, you lose your starting quarterback, you're done.
Yeah, and something's off with the. There's a few teams that there's something off with. Like we were talking about the Ravens, like they are seemingly coming into another phase here. Like they are clicking.
I hope so.
Right? Whereas the 49ers kind of fallen off a bit. The Bills aren't the same Bills that we've seen in years past or even earlier this season. Kansas City, my gosh, they just keep rolling.
Yeah.
But they also don't seem that completely unbeatable.
No, they don't.
It's-
Their defense, though, their defense is number 3 in the NFL right now,
and that's
which
what's
nobody
carrying
saw. Yes, nobody saw that happening. Right, so you can have all the offense in the world, but I think that's why the San Francisco thing is still on the table because their defense is just out of this world.
Yeah, and they always it's a plug and play offense too, right? In many cases, and they scout well, they draft well. Reed is a guru, right? And it's you have some of these players like Pacheco and some of these guys, they come out of nowhere. It's like, oh, like good talent, but this is the system. This is what we do, right? So they're always in the conversation, but yeah, they're clearly missing Hill. But I mean, and I have Tony. I drafted him in fantasy football. I was like, well, that didn't work out. So I think they were banking on a few of these guys, but Mahomes is still Mahomes. It's crazy to watch what he does. It's amazing.
And you got Taylor Swift. You
Oh,
got the Swift bounce. Did you see the stat of Kelsey that they put up during the last game?
No.
They had the pre-dating Taylor Swift and like dating Taylor Swift, and his numbers are better.
Really?
Like quite a bit better
exponentially
too.
better,
Like it was
too.
quite a bit better.
Not just
And
a
then,
bit.
so when they break up,
When
and
they-
Do you think it's a win?
Yes.
His numbers will drop, and then she writes an album about him, a breakup
Yep,
album.
the breakup album.
And
She
then
knocks it out of the park.
She makes all the money, and there's goes her stats through the roof. Very interesting.
Which I don't know how it could go higher, but it will.
Yeah. Do you guys
It will.
like Al Michaels' quote? He was asked there every time they would pan to Taylor Swift, he wouldn't acknowledge it
Yeah.
in a game, and he's like, "This is not Access Hollywood." Like, wow.
You know a fun fact about Al Michaels?
Don't go the vegetable way.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
What do you mean you don't believe it?
Okay, I don't. He could say I've never eaten a vegetable, and I know he's knowingly eating a vegetable. Like I get that.
Okay, let's clarify. The fun fact about Al Michaels is that he does not eat vegetables.
No,
Period. None. Nil. Zilch.
You can't tell me he doesn't. Doesn't in his life has never knowingly eaten vegetables.
I was listening to a podcast where Ryan
That's hard to
Fitzpatrick.
believe.
Isn't it?
Ryan Fitzpatrick was the guest. Ryan Fitzpatrick works Thursday night games on Amazon Prime, which Al Michaels calls. The podcast specifically asked him, like, is this a bit? Is this a thing? He's like, guys, I'm dead serious. He only eats steak. You don't put broccoli, mashed potato, nothing. Steak.
Really? Hey?
Has this guy never had a French fry in his life?
Hey, I don't
Like
know.
that's like
Let me call
Yeah.
him.
that's my like. In the end,
Onion ring.
exactly. Like there is. I'm sure he doesn't like them. I'm sure he doesn't want to order them. We have a guy that works here that hates all those type of foods. And Dusty, he's very like his palate's not that large.
I went for Dusty the other day, and he's like, we went and got our food, and he's like, yeah, like look at my plate. It looks like a glorified kids meal.
Exactly. But he's eaten vegetables in his life. Like that's my only issues with Al Michaels. I'm sure he goes to the restaurant and says, "I'll take my steak with nothing else. Just give me garlic toast or whatever
Is
it
this
is." With
when
it.
dating back to when he was a child?
That's what he says.
So like
what
he
he
would
says.
ask his mom, he's like, "Mom, can I have some peas?" No.
I don't know
steak."
that. I don't know the exact parameters on the timeline.
His mom wasn't like strict or something, so he got away with not wanting to eat vegetables as a kid, and she didn't force him to. And
Well,
he's now carried that his whole life, and then knowingly has never eaten a vegetable. He says.
We've
That's
implemented
crazy,
this with my middle daughter. Now we don't feed her any vegetables, just so that if Al Michaels can do it and have that kind of career, then I think we should.
You're
we
going to
should
test
start.
it on one of your kids.
We're going to start with no vegetables. So she gets dog food, steak, and chicken.
There you go. If that's what you want.
Are you sure there's no veggies in the dog food? Did you double check those ingredients?
I don't know what's in that.
You should double check.
Maybe I should. I think they say there's like salmon and broccoli, but
So you can't have it then. You got to pull that out. Pull it out of the diet. It's back to just the steak.
That's true.
Steak and burgers.
I mean, even hot dogs are good because it's chicken and or turkey and or beef and or
Whatever else.
and
And/or
or. But I don't
pig
think it'd
butts.
be vegetables.
No.
I think you're safe with hot dogs too.
I just don't buy it from Al Michaels. I'm sorry. I love Al Michaels. He's my favorite.
It is-
Like,
it
I
is
think
a
he's
hard
my
one.
favorite football guy that I've grown up like watching and stuff. Like
Yeah,
he's my
you kn-
Chris Cuthbert type thing.
Yeah.
I agree. Chris Cuthbert, I really like him now. I didn't
Oh, no?
earlier on, and then even Romo, like he has had some great insight, but you don't have to predict every play.
He's dropped in my books.
Why is he dropped in everybody's books? I don't
I
understand.
don't think he's developed. I think he came on strong and like, hey, this guy's a magician. He could call a play, predict it. We all go, oh my God, look, he predicted this. And since then, he hasn't evolved with his analysis. But to giving better analysis, it's very empty.
He's telling you what they're going to run on the next play. That seems
But
like
then
pretty
when he's
good
talking about
analysis to me.
pass plays or something, it's very empty calories, I feel. Oh, Jim, that's a good play out there. Like, I don't know, give me something else.
I don't know.
I made
I've
that
always
throw
loved
8
it.
years ago when I called this play.
Yeah.
That I don't like as much, but part why I love football, and it's like no other sport in my opinion, is you watch them line up, and that's part of the joy of watching for me, is trying to call the play in my head and just seeing how the defense align. I'm like, okay, where's the motion? And then when I have like a guru like Tony Romo calling it for me, as
runs the magic.
I wanted to try that, right? But
What was that
he's
game
talented though
that you could play in? Well, I know I used to play it in Billy Buds, was where you could pick pass or run or
Yeah, it was like on the
Blitz?
screens, and
I
it
forget.
was while you're watching a game.
Yeah.
Shanks had it actually.
That was so much fun.
So like you're watching a
Pass,
game and you
middle,
could
deep.
predict, like you try to predict. So you have like the 20
no
seconds
way.
before a play, and you go, is it going to be a pass or a run, or like, and you try to
I've
make
never
those
seen
things.
that. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm sure there's some betting
Well,
places
and
that
you
you could do
could-
that with right now.
You
still.
could push pass, deep,
Yes,
right. And if you got all three, you'd get like 10 times the points.
and you're just
And it was
trying to
just a
collect as
point
many
system.
points by the end of the game.
we
or
got to
something.
find that.
It might
But-
be still be in the Shanks system. Maybe when we go there for the mini putt to take for our scouting mission, we could find the machine.
Somebody
there.
out there ought to know the name of it, the exact
Yeah,
name.
but it was like, yeah, that's the thing. Like it's fun sitting and watching a football game and trying to be like, oh, they're gonna run here, absolutely. And then they throw a deep ball, and you go, what the hell do I know? But that's the joy.
Right.
And when you call it, like you're like, yeah, see, I should be an offensive or defensive coordinator. I know what the hell I'm doing.
It's like Uncle Rico, eh? You know,
Was
if
it
I only had a
QB1?
chance.
I think you're right.
QB1.
QB1
That's Sickler again, man. This guy's
bar game.
Really? Check on eBay.
For what?
Well, I
QB1?
guess I can too. Yeah.
It was like there was this.
That's the exact
So you get like
console.
something like that. And
It's like
you're
old
just
school, man.
You're just
I
trying to
bet you
call the
now,
play.
if
I
you
think
were
they
to
still
do it
have
now,
There's
I
a
bet-
website.
But if you do it now, buzz time. Because when it wasn't football games, it would be music trivia or
It's
whatever.
an app.
Yeah, I bet you it is
A
an
new
app
way
now.
to play an old favorite.
There you go.
So how do I get this on the app? Let's see. Download on Google or Apple Store. And there it is. Buzz Time Bets.
So you can probably play this. We
Select
could,
an outcome for this drive.
watch a
Safety,
show
other,
and then-
interception, fumble, and you get a certain amount of points.
We could do like a live stream game where we're all watching an NFL Monday Nighter or something.
Oh my God.
And we're doing this.
While we're doing
While we're-
this,
yeah.
we all do our own, and
I
an
would be
EST
down.
one.
Yeah, and then
And have a league.
You each come in. You have like, you know, like people would bring. They have their bowling ball like in the carrier. Like we have our whatever that pad is, like in our fanny packs.
I would look on eBay to see if I could get the old school one and sync it to my phone. Because those were funny. You'd go to the pub and they'd have them
You'd
all.
have to ask for one.
They'd all have them all sitting on like these racks because they needed to be charged. So they'd all sit up sideways on these racks. You'd go and grab one and you'd sync it and put your name in, and it would show the live standings after every play.
I think the mute. If it's the same one you're saying it for like name that tune type thing.
Yeah, there was trivia during
Like
like,
different
going
trivia?
on. Like
Right.
when you go into a bar and you see like it's like Jeopardy style questions on the screen, and then it gives you 4 options, and there's a ticker counting down the time. That's exactly it.
Bunch of people in the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. We're saying it was QB1, and you could play other locations.
That's right.
What I'm saying.
You
So
play
like
all
if you're
across
at,
North
if you're
America,
at Shanks, you could be playing Billy Buds people, and you're playing across the board, and there's a full leaderboard.
and you're playing as Shanks, the Billy Buds, and you'd see all these. You'd see Mr. Buttercup's bar from Tennessee, would be on the leaderboard because they'd have a whole. It was a thing. We should get it back.
Trevor, pass deep right, played a lot of QB1 at Jocks 97th Street.
Yes.
Remember Jocks?
Jocks. Yeah.
My friend from Edmonton, this is from Dan, won the North American Super Bowl in QB1 and got a ring.
Really?
Yeah, it's serious. It was like Golden
big
Tee back
business.
in the day when you know the Golden Tee
Yeah.
machines. Like you could
Who
enter
doesn't know
tournaments
Golden Tee?
and like you could compete and win. Like if you're on the leaderboard. Yeah.
A couple of people are also very interested in our Shanks idea too, just overall. Norm is wanting to send us, Norm in a combine wants to send us a resume for working with us. And Jason in Leduc, I can't say the first part, but also said an EST merch corner at Shanks when we open up our Shanks store, which, of course,
Yeah.
absolutely.
When's the merch store opening?
It is now open.
Those are Really?
It is
Like,
now
so
open.
We can buy the hats.
EST shop. If you just get at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Thank you for allowing me to transition into this.
Yes.
EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Go to the very top. It says EST shop. You click there. We're doing pre-orders till November 15th. And then we'll put the orders in, and then everyone will have it by December 15th or a little bit sooner.
Before Christmas.
Before Christmas. That was the key. And then, yeah. So hat, shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, coffee mug, and toques. All available thanks to our official merch partner, the Hive Product Marketing, products that bring the buzz, thehiveproductmarketing.com. So, yeah, it's now officially launched on Monday.
Well done.
So now we got that going, and orders have been rolling in. And then, yeah, we'll go to about November 15th and make sure people have stuff before Christmas. So you can get it for your own Christmas present, or you could buy for others.
Oh, look what's in my own stocking.
Exactly.
Those are clean hats, though, I have to say.
Does
done.
the toque have a pom-pom?
No, they're beanies.
Okay.
I'll show you. One day we'll have it, so we'll have people that we'll have an extra producer so they could pop it up on screen when we're saying things like this.
YouTube trip.
We'll have someone else because he'll be doing other things. But it's just a normal toque, 2 colors.
Ooh, nice.
So it's just
That's beautiful.
and it's a leather patch. So
Nice.
yeah,
so that's
they're
off
beanies.
right off the website.
Yeah, go to the very top, Edmonton Sports. It says EST shop.
Putting in my
It's,
order today.
It's been a big week for us here at Edmonton Sports because now we're on TuneIn Radio as well.
Huge.
Which
big.
you could tune in. Well, not just tune in. It's called. I was mad at Dust there saying TuneIn Radio. Just called TuneIn. But you could find us on TuneIn. We've been working with them for the last few weeks to get it done.
I
But
got the app right on
It's-
the home screen.
I love TuneIn.
Yeah,
I've been using TuneIn for years to listen to various radio stations around the world.
And just
it's
so
a
you
big
know,
one.
if you go and get the TuneIn app, because I ran into this,
Yeah.
it'll immediately ask you, do you want to get the upgraded premium? And it
Yes.
seems like it's the only option. It's not.
There's an X at the top.
Just clear out of it, and then you're onto it, and you can then.
Because there is a premium option which gets you ad free, and you get certain premium content.
It's almost like
without,
Sirius.
like
But
CNN
some
and
of the
Fox.
ads are great, though. Like when Jacksonville, local radio.
Right.
Oh no, not those that pre-roll ads and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if somebody goes right now and listens to Edmonton Sports Talk on TuneIn, there'll be a 30-second ad that starts, like on YouTube.
Oh,
So you could pay to not have that happen, or after I don't know. I think if you listen for so many hours, eventually an ad will be thrown on.
Oh.
You could get rid of that. But you're right. Listening to
they're
commercials from
Crocodile Gyms. It's like, wow, this is awesome.
and then getting the car dealership from down south
Yeah.
and how they're doing their hard selling all of that.
It's like that would not go over well here.
No.
Okay, speaking of old radio commercials or old style radio commercials, we went down to Nashville for our 10-year anniversary, and we bookended it with the Kentucky Derby. It was a trip, right? It was a dream trip, and we went to the Grand Ole Opry. Do you know that the Grand Ole Opry is live streamed every night? Yeah, you can listen to it. If you listen to it, if you go on your laptop or whatever, you can listen to it every night. And the guy there is literally announcing, this next act is brought to you by Lubex, serving Nashville community for 38 years. It is hilarious, but he's serious. It's dead serious. And you can listen to every live performance at the Grand Ole Opry on, if you have a streaming platform or in-car streaming. I'm sure it's on TuneIn. You could literally listen to the Grand Ole Opry every night. Yeah, it's actually
That's great.
It was hilarious. But the guy would come on in between the sets of all these bands that
The
are
hype
playing,
man.
and he'd have this old timey radio microphone too.
Yeah.
With the KWBS. All that. He was hilarious, but it was it wasn't a bit.
No.
It was just
that's-
preserving
wow.
how it was back in the day. I bet you it's on there.
I don't see it right away.
There's some talent there, but then some have been performing every day for 40 years.
Well, yeah, it was Chris Jansen and what's that band? They sing they did the Life is the Highway for the Cars movie, but they're a country band. Guys, they're dudes.
You're asking the wrong one here for that one.
Tom Cochran.
No, it's
Because that's
somebody will know.
I'm not a country guy.
Rascal
Flats.
Thanks,
Yes.
Trev. I wouldn't have expected you to answer that. I would have expected Eric. Well done.
So they were
Surprised
there,
me.
and it was awesome. They play 3 songs and they're off. Yeah.
That's all right.
It's like a huge cathedral. It's very, very
A lot of history there.
Yeah.
Oh, so they run on a radio station. It
Yeah,
looks
like
like
it's a real radio
an
station.
AM station, 6:50 AM, because AM's still a thing down south, not here.
Not here.
It's kind of weird. So I'm sure that's on TuneIn if you look for that station. So I'll have to give that.
It's
a
weird
listen
here.
tonight.
It's like AM radio here has just gone so like the sound quality has just dropped.
There's also like nothing on it.
Right, nothing.
There's
At
like
least you can hear us
Very
clearly.
little. Static free since 23. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports for a reason.
Crystal clear choice.
Well, and in the end, look, no matter what,
That's a good tagline.
in the whatever radio station you are on, you could be 100.3 the Bear. Love my friends at the Bear. They got their big howler tonight. There's still a little static. It's radio. Radio has static. Just period. We're online. We don't have that
I
static.
think
We don't
that's
have
our
that
next.
transmitter.
I think that's got to be the next T-shirt. Radio has static. Period.
I think we should just put static free since 23 right on the shirt.
That is really catchy.
Actually, that's. I do like
You
that
can
one.
do it on the front and back, each one.
And then, but your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
I like
That's
that.
what we have on TuneIn.
Yeah, I saw.
I have that as they asked me like, what do you have as a slogan? I was like, well, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, and it's
That's great.
yeah.
Well,
I don't know
done.
how we came up with those, but they just happened. I think Dusty came up with the static free since 23, and
That is awesome.
it's
That'll
the truth.
stick.
It's the truth, and hey, we'll always be able to say it and
That's what we
reference to
speak.
when we launched.
I mean, if there was static, I don't know if I would take your invite.
So, Maddie, I wanted to say something because this is near and dear to my heart.
Okay, well, I want to ask you something.
Oh, rock paper scissors first, or who goes first?
Sure.
So what do we do? Rock paper scissors shoot.
Yeah, you have
Yes,
to know.
it's you do it
Rock,
3 times
paper,
and then you
scissors,
go.
shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Rock paper scissors shoot. Okay, you go.
Tomorrow, big game down at Foot Field.
Humongous.
I'm
And-
okay if they lose.
Why?
I'm not gonna lie. Because
Then they'd have
they're
to go.
playing
to,
playoffs no matter what. They're home next week.
They
No
would
matter
be-
what.
they
They're
would-
home to the Huskies likely.
well, when they win tomorrow, they'll be home to the
Bison.
To the Bison,
Which is
And
easier.
then
It's a
they'll be
little
home
easier.
to the Huskies, probably.
Huskies will beat UBC?
I think so.
Oh, see then I just
Huskies playoff Huskies is different.
I
football.
actually don't mind the idea of the Bears having lost twice to UBC, meeting them in the playoffs for revenge.
Okay,
game.
okay,
You know,
so
like
I
that,
was- yeah.
that like we've lost to these guys.
tough to beat a
This is
team
the
3 times,
time.
right?
We're gonna go to UBC, like, because I want them to win so bad. Because if they win this week, or well, they play this week, they play next week. If they win that and win today and tomorrow, they play the week after at home. And if they win that, I think Canada West is hosting the Hardy or
They're
the
in
Mitchell
Mitchell.
Bowl, and so they'd have 4 straight games at home.
And if they can, like this is about as good of a path as you can ask for if they win tomorrow, because then you're home till the Vanier, essentially.
Yeah.
If you can string together all those games, which I think this team is very capable of.
Huskies don't scare me anymore. They beat them twice. And I didn't watch the second one. The first one, they dominated.
The second one was much closer at home at Foot Field, but it was still, the stats don't lie. Like the Bears ran it up on them. It was just there was some mistakes, but the running game of the Bears football is just like you can have even in the NFL. You can
That's
have
Canadian playoff success right there.
but in any sport.
No,
like,
that's what, always heard that in the CFL. Like once November hits, it's your ground game.
right. Why are Toronto and Winnipeg probably some of the 2 favorites to be going to the Grey Cup?
Ouellette and
Ouellette
Oliviera.
and Oliviera, right? It doesn't change no matter what level of football you're at. Because if you run the ball successfully, that opens up your passing game and makes your quarterback look like a god out there because everybody's sucked up protecting the run.
Right.
So, I mean, especially at this time of year when it is a little colder, the weather's a little dicey. I mean, the running game there is just beautiful, beautiful to watch. And
Well, their star running back got hurt last week against Manitoba, and the backup came in and was
Jonathan Roser
dominating it.
is equally as dangerous. But it's O-line U, man. That's what Chris Morris does. He takes people and turns them into CFL-ready O-linemen. So they are playing with men on that O-line. Like
And they're just creating holes.
They're creating holes. They're opening up holes that the team bus could drive through, for goodness sake. Like, it is serious. They are smashing people. It's beautiful to watch.
That's great football.
Wow, and then
And you know, and it's one thing like growing up as a Ravens fan. Jamal Lewis was the running back I grew up on, right? Like I'm so sad the running back's dying in the Canadian or in the NFL.
You're right.
Because the Jerome Bettises of the world, all of that was beautiful to watch
It
in an
was.
ugly way. Like it was ugly, like visually, but as a fan, like that's what I want to see.
Absolutely.
But is it
I
dying?
agree.
Is it? I don't think it's dying.
They're not. They don't. They want running backs. And now there are some bigger backs still, but actually, it was funny. I think last year, the year before, I was looking at the franchise tag pricing. The only positions lower than a running back for price point was kicker and punter.
That's
Because
just
no one wants to pay for a running back anymore. No one wants to back, like, it's the passing league. They've now become the CFL in a sense, where it's the passing game. They don't want to spend money on a running back. When they get a running back, they cut him pretty quickly. Like, they don't last as long anymore.
They
'cause
don't have
go
a long
younger and
shelf
cheaper.
life.
And so
they're-
we're losing that. You know, you're not getting the Jerome Bettises that are spending 15-year careers who are just dominating physically.
But it is still a very, very necessary position.
Oh, very. And it has changed. Like you have, if you're going to be a successful running back in many ways, you're going to have to catch the ball.
Christian
Right.
McCaffrey.
Like even like a guy like Kamara,
Yeah.
like an older guy. I mean, he had a few games on the shelf, so he's pretty fresh, but he comes in, I forget how many touches or targets he had. So if you're one dimensional, it's not really the era for you, right? But I agree, going back to just like the smash mouth, and maybe things will change in the playoffs a little bit too. I don't know, but still fun to watch though. But that's the thing, you have a McCaffrey like versus like Jamal Lewis, these tanks, Bettis. It's like they're like injury, what's that, right? Like they would beat guys down, where a lot of the McCaffreys like. And you don't have a long shelf life because some of these guys aren't as big and they can't take the punishment. And let's face it, a lot of the defenses, like they're bigger and faster now, right? And it'd be scary being a running back right now.
I always still go back to Jerome Bettis versus Ray Lewis. Like, those, like, come on. Those guys going head to head or something. There's
that series you watch, The Football Life.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And like they talk about it, like they have such high respect for each other, and they knew it. Like they knew they had to bring their best game when they were head to head, right?
even still to this day, those two teams generally a 3-point game between them. But yeah, back to like the running team, they've got it. So like, it's gonna be fun at Foot tomorrow, and it's
What time's the game at?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. It'll be a packed house.
Which is
I'll be
great.
there.
Great vibe.
Like, you know, we're talking playoffs. That's awesome.
In my life, I really don't recall the Bears being great for a period of time, right? Like I'm younger,
when
so
Jay
I haven't seen
played.
it. You guys had
That was the
there
last
a
time. It
couple
was like
times.
successful years where we were in the Hardy Cup 3 years in a row.
And before that, there was nothing. After that, there's really been nothing. And this is like I've seen the Bears get off to like a 3-0 start or something. You get excited, then they end the season like 3-5 or something. And
Well,
it was sustained. It was like they go and they win their first game against Calgary, and okay, they beat Manitoba, and like then they go play the Huskies, and all of a sudden they beat the Huskies. You're like, oh, this might be for real.
Well, it's going to take, it's taken some time for Chris to turn that program around because you're competing against big dollars in Canada West, especially, and then out East. So it's
And
taken
Blake
time
Milne and what he's doing.
to build that up, to do the off-season camps for kids where you can start building your coffers up so that you can go out and get the best players in Alberta and Saskatchewan and compete on an even level scholarship-wise. Do you know the Bears had, I think it's over 20 academic All-Canadians on their roster?
And that's like the entry level into U of A versus some other universities for years. Like the bar is so much higher.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't just be an athlete.
You can't just be a jock. You got to have
Not
an
at all.
academic side to you for sure. And
And I've
to
heard that was an issue with Morris. Well, we're not with Morris, but for Morris early in his time with the Bears is that U of C is grabbing all these players. He can't get them because they don't have the academic level.
Well,
of like
now with all the work that program has done and with the support of the alumni, they have, in-season tutoring. They have study sessions. They have study halls right at Foot Field. They take over the whole facility. It's something now that's finally starting to come to fruition, where you can see the benefits of. I mean, it's players on players. That's what it is. And now they're able to get the good players. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman anywhere in Canada, and you don't seek out, like if you're a top 5 O-lineman recruit coming out of a junior program, hopefully, or high school. I would never say that, but if you are, okay, you'd be remiss if you didn't at least reach out to Chris at U of A, because that guy churns you
Which
out.
used to be Huskies, right?
Wow,
Calgary was big.
Back in the day.
Calgary had their run.
Calgary
right,
had
in
their
the-
run of sending a bunch of offensive linemen to the CFL.
Right, yeah.
But now Chris is really focused on that. And hey, that's the truth. If you have an O-line, you are more likely to be successful.
Well, your
That's just fact.
Football success is just straight up at the line.
It is.
You have an O-line, your offense could perform. If you have a D-line, your your defense has a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all right in those trenches.
Well, and they're putting up numbers, man. Like they're running the ball all over teams. They're scoring the ball, right? Then if that's the case, you're keeping their defense on the field a lot longer. It's harder for them to catch. It just all works very well together. So, no, huge game this weekend. I think. You said they can handle a loss. I don't think so, because traditionally the Bears do not play well in BC at Thunderbird Stadium. So, in a perfect world, they'd win convincingly, go into the playoffs on a real high note, get through the next weekend without any injuries, take care of business, and see what you can do in the Hardy Cup.
If we had the Cool Bet sports betting line, they're actually favorites. The Bears
6.5 points.
Wow.
2.5 on Cool Bet.
Really?
Yep.
That's it?
I think that's a nice number. You can't give the Bears 6.5 to UBC.
All right.
UBC is still a good program. They're still a good team.
I'll bump
I know
up-
they lost to Calgary.
I'll bump it up,
But-
then. I'll take it all the way up to 6.5 and increase my odds. You heard it here
With that,
first.
I'm going to see if I can bump that. I don't know if they can on Cool Bet. We'll see what
You
can
heard
happen.
it here first, Maddie.
As we get to the next part, because you having to say something else.
Well, it's
What did you want to go with when we did rock, paper, scissors?
well, it's too bad that our dear friend from what is it, Explore Edmonton,
Quinn Phillips?
isn't here, but she's somewhere in Australia, right? But the CFR is back.
Yes.
Do you guys
right.
like that? Has been a staple.
3.5 for the Bears, by the way. You can't change it.
You
So.
can't bump it up.
Not on
All right,
Cool
I
Bet.
would take
If we
that.
get once we get the lounge, we'll make it work. But
Okay.
today we can't. But back to the CFR.
I'm pumping that one for sure. The CFR is back. It's been in Red Deer. It's the 50th anniversary of the CFR.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
And every year, but I think the last 3 or 4 have been in Red Deer, and it's just been, bleh. And we love going to the CFR. Like that is a staple. It is a lot of fun. So having it back in Edmonton, having it back it's gonna be downtown at Raw. Like it's gonna be pretty fun.
It'll be big.
Oh, huge. Like they'll sell that place out for whatever 13 days in a row.
No,
And
they
that-
won't.
Maybe not sell out. Maybe they used to
know.
sell out Northlands.
Did they?
Yeah, man. A lot of people
I've never
come in
gone
from
to a
out of-
Deal.
CFR. I've never gone to
What?
CFR.
Great.
It's never been something that's interested me personally. Maybe this year I'll have to go. I actually I don't want it to stink Rogers' place up. Rexall, it always stunk up Rexall. They would move, you'd go in for an Oiler game afterwards and it would still stink.
There'd be dust all
Yeah,
over the
and I
seats.
didn't like that.
Even the monster truck show, the next day you're like, but that is true with the CFR. It was great though. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
it's a hoot.
I'm not a country music guy or anything, but just to go there, the culture, it's pretty cool. And I was like, well, I got to borrow some cowboy boots, and who's got the biggest, baddest buckle I can find? So I was like, I had all my clothing loaned, and it was awesome though.
If you
EST
embrace it,
belt buckle.
yes.
Oh, do it.
We're coming up with so many ideas for EST today.
It's been
on
an
the
expensive hangout,
It
Dusty.
has been a very expensive hangout. But if all these people are coming to town, we sell the EST belt buckle.
Okay, so if you want to go, I'll take you. You be my guest.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Who are you looking at?
Both of you. I'd take both of you.
We can have a hangout.
I didn't get
Yeah.
any eye contact on that invite, Jay.
Well, we're gonna have a
That's
hangout
okay.
at the top of the
Yes.
Commonwealth Stadium, aren't
Yes, at that big, there's that ski thing, the snowboard
bringing back the
jump,
snowboard.
the
Yeah.
big sky.
we? Big air.
And we
big-
had one
big
of
sky.
the guys from,
Canada snowboard.
I was trying to think it's Canada Snowboard. And we then said we'd go to the top of it. And me, him, Quinn, and Jay will go do a show from up there.
And then I'm gonna get my.
And then he's gonna go down.
Damon would remember Eddie the Eagle.
Absolutely.
from the '88 Olympics.
He's gonna ski down or go down it.
Good old Brit.
I can't remember what I was doing. Quinn was. Oh, I was snowboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna learn how to snowboard because I've never snowboarded.
And then Quinn was going to do the
Tobogganing.
Tobogganing.
Yeah. Have you ever snowboard? You into?
No, I actually, a group of us guys, they were pretty good, some of our buddies, but I've torn both ACLs. And so first time out, it wasn't working for me. Just too much pressure. So I haven't, even since the injuries, I haven't skied much, but snowboarding to me, when I watch it, it's so graceful. It was anything but graceful when I was on there, and I was like, it wasn't working for me. So no, I don't snowboard.
I haven't gone in a long time, but I want to go. Not to ski or snowboard. I just want to sit in the chalet.
Après ski.
Like I will be the one that like, hey, you guys want me to watch your stuff? Have fun.
Okay, no.
Let's grab the drinks and let's just hang out. Like, so if we ever did like an EST snow day, we go somewhere. I'll watch all of our stuff.
It's getting more expensive.
Is it going back to skiing though?
Yes.
I know some of the kids are now. It's like, well,
oh really?
They're skiing versus snowboarding.
Skiing's the cool thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, skiing is just so much more enjoyable. Like I did both. Going
but
through high
snowboard
school.
looked cooler. I've
It's
always
cooler.
felt.
It's more aggressive, right? You're riding one edge as opposed to two, and it's a little bit more. I guess it depends. If you're a really good skier, like skiing, you can really get pretty tactical, right? But I enjoy skiing much more than snowboarding now. And I have young kids too. So if you're trying to be the dad that's trying to protect them from going off a cliff, it's easier to be on skis than a snowboard. Trust me. Especially if you have that little apparatus where you're holding them back. But I do not condone that. You cannot be the après ski guy.
Why not?
If you don't ski. That's like Jed Roberts would do that. I've seen him. I know how he rolls.
So you're selling this to me. Like if I could be like Jed?
That
sounds like a good thing. If you're going to compare me and put me like, you're like Jed. Okay.
I mean,
you just sold it for me.
No, I mean from the traditional standpoint. That
What's
you
wrong?
have to get
Why?
up and get on a set of skis. Why? That's why you deserve the après ski.
Somebody has to watch your gear. Somebody has to watch your stuff.
No, you just
There's lockers.
own it.
Backpacks.
Like, just
take
be a poser.
Take your run on the bunny hill.
I'm encouraging you. Own it. Just go with the onesie get up.
Just dress up.
And
just like that guy's legit.
Just
everybody
wear
will
ski-
say that.
just
It's
wear your
like,
ski
it's like
boots.
it's like JB Media. They're like, oh,
I think
They're one of
you're
us.
right. Like full garb, but like it's all kind of taken down as if I just finished my run and I'm gonna sit and I'll just sit there and everyone's like, everyone comes in now. How's the snow? How's it good? Okay, I'll be out there in a bit.
Right.
Yeah. I'll just keep yelling that, but then you guys could come
As
in.
long as you keep prefacing it with the fact that
I'll be right out.
Rent
I'll have the boots on.
Rent the boots, but just
Yep.
keep them unclipped
that's
all day.
true. And then
keep
put an ice pack on your knee.
And keep your
Just
snow
like-
pants like kind of.
It's been a tough round. It's been a tough go that one.
Just wear the snow bib, but keep it unzipped. That's a good lunch look.
See,
I don't think Dustin could ride. I don't know, ski or snowboard. It would be very terrifying to see him coming down the hill. You know what he did text me though? Today. He used to grow up riding sheep at the little county rodeos that they had. So he's very
makes sense.
involved.
Really?
He's ready to go to the CFR.
That sounds like a good competition too. Bring that back.
I think that's
Mutton busting,
That's
they would
content.
call it. That would be
That's
content.
what they call content for a YouTube channel.
Yes. Let's do some mutton busting.
That will make us money.
That's
That
right.
would
We
be
could
fun.
sell-
We could sell that, maybe make some money. So for everything else we've just spent money on,
We're
we
getting
can
it
have
back.
some.
We're
We're clawing a
recouping.
little bit back.
We're
there, you know?
recouping.
Yeah.
We're recouping.
You can be a participant in the ride, but you have to buy this belt buckle. Proceeds go to
Edmonton Sports Stocks ski trip, because that's what we'll do first.
And Panda's basketball is up and running at Saville Center
This weekend.
This weekend.
Well, Pandas Bears, I'm assuming is going, and
I think it's,
I'm a big volleyball fan.
yeah.
I'm huge.
Volleyball's
I
great.
love watching volleyball, and I had to go watch.
You could convince me to go anywhere at the Saville if it's live and it's Bears Pandas. It's a great atmosphere, and it's different now with kids because it's so kid friendly, and like they got that running
That's
track
true.
up top. They got the beanbag toss that you can throw in. They got Gooba and the panda.
love
run,
Gooba. Great mascot.
he's great.
Do you know what it stands for?
No.
Great University Bear of Alberta.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's not a joke.
The Bears hockey team has the best jerseys like ever. Every single Bears jersey.
With the Alberta
all of
side,
them.
the vertical
You
Alberta.
got the vertical Alberta.
Then you got the Gooba.
You got regular Gooba. They have the retro one that they've gone with. They're all beautiful.
Chuck Moser, rest in peace. He was with the U of A forever. He was the fella that invented Gooba and invented the name and the logo and
Really?
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful man.
But that's a place to take your kids if you're looking to enjoyable sports,
Dude,
good
it's-
atmosphere, good on the wallet.
It's cheap, yeah.
Universe, like you go to even McEwen or Nate's or Concordia or something. It's a lot of fun to go
It's
watch.
great
that
entertainment, and you say that, and you have like the Crusaders, the St. Albert Saints, like that kind of feel where it's, you're not looking or expecting professional level, but what do your kids care? They just want to go
Yeah.
there and get the popcorn, watch somebody skate around, watch a goal, hear the horn, whatever it may be. It's good. It's value, very good value.
Well, on top of that, like Riverhawks and Stingers.
Right.
Stingers are a great atmosphere, and they're a great place to go watch a game, and that's in the summer. Like you get your college, university during the year, and then summer comes, and you go check out the Riverhawks, the Stingers, and
Can I admit something? I've never been to a Riverhawks game.
we're going this summer.
We are okay. That's what we'll do.
We'll get the Remax box.
We can big swing
I'll
and
get- I'll
Remax
get
guy
Remax.
over here.
Probably
Remax Elite,
probably
Damon
have to
Bunting.
pay for it. But
Okay,
You can pay for
Or-
it. We'll just show up.
that's what I mean.
Section I is the section you will find us too if you're ever there.
really?
Section I.
Right.
Cam Moon, voice of the Oilers.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I and Tommy and Eric. That's generally where we go sit too. It's
Didn't they
just-
have you guys singing songs or something last
we were
year?
when 1260 got shut down. They brought us out to honor us, but in the end we were put to work. We had to do all sorts of different things. So, but no, the Riverhawks is so much fun. So, yes, you're coming to a Riverhawks game
I don't know why. So
because it's such a short. It's like the Stingers, even in a way. It's so short.
but
And
what,
it's the
what
summer, you're
better,
doing things,
I
and-
know, but what better way to go and hear the crack of a bat, have a hot dog, get out there,
Yeah,
have a
enjoy the
couple cold
sun.
ones, right? Right on the river valley. Beautifully. Like that is probably one of the finest baseball stadiums in that league.
Oh, easily. Well, that's one of the, when it was built is one of the nicer minor parks you're going to find in baseball, like in North America almost.
You know,
all the time.
Jason Giambi played there.
A lot of people.
Yeah, like Tim Salmon,
Yeah.
Yohan Santana, Justin Morneau,
Devon White.
Alex
Evo.
Rodriguez came up here with Calgary because he was a cannon.
Seriously?
A-Rod was a cannon, so he came up here.
I did not know that.
Canseco came too. And
Jose Canseco, I got a story about Jose Canseco coming here. He came here
Yeah.
when it was the Edmonton Capitals, the
Right.
independent league. And he was the manager player of one of the teams, him and his brother.
right.
In one of the games they were playing, the Capitals were just playing so well. Canseco came in to pitch. And I was working Capitals games on scoreboard at the time. And he gave up a grand slam to the Capitals pitcher. It was amazing. And then on the Saturday night, him and his brother had a spot. They had to go to Union Hall. They were being paid appearance. And there was a rain delay going on. And we saw him and his brother walk across the field to the Capitals dugout. And we're like, guaranteed they're calling this game early because they have to get to Union Hall. And next thing we know, we get the call from the umpires. Game's called. And we're like, okay, well, we're done here. And so they had to get to Union Hall. But yeah, no, I watched Jose Canseco at the time, Telus Field, give up a grand slam
Wow.
to a pitcher. It was
What
amazing.
was his brother's name again?
Oh, that's a good question.
Jose.
But the one thing, a couple years ago, you could do it. You want a fun day?
Yes.
Stingers?
Yes.
Take the train, get downtown, grab a bite, head to Riverhawks. Mm-hmm. That's a day.
It's like you can do that
That'd
with
be
the
a good
Elks
day.
and the Oilers too, right? You
Yep.
can have like a super day.
One, the Jets were supposed to play at the exact same time the Bombers have a playoff game coming up in a couple weeks. And the NHL just announced that they moved the Jets game earlier. So you could do a doubleheader now, Jets, and then head to the West Final. The brother,
Going to Winnipeg.
where's his brother? Why can't I find his brother on here?
You said you're going to Winnipeg?
I'd like to for that. That'd be fun.
Ozzy Canseco is a
Ozzy,
twin
right.
brother. Yes.
Yeah.
Winnipeg's actually, we were there for a Wildcats game this year, and we flew in, flew out the same day. But I was with some of the parents group that came on the flight as well, and they took us down to this area called the Forks. It's a very cool area. It's right on the river. I guess two rivers come together, and it's really cool spot actually.
It It's a nice little city. It's
Surprisingly,
underappreciated,
yeah.
and Hustler would know. It's we were there for the Heritage game. We stayed in Transcona.
Aussie.
It's a great area in Winnipeg too.
Aussie is
But
his
they
brother.
have a nice. There's actually really nice restaurants there too. Like a few foodies would say that's who would have thought go to Winnipeg, right? So
They've done something with their
Saskatoon
water
downtown,
or
too.
something. Like this, I don't know. I saw a video recently on their water. They've made it a nice little area or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
the
wrong.
Forks.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right down on the river, and it's like this indoor shopping market, and there's
If we could do that with the River Valley, it would be unbelievable.
it would be
That is true.
humongous.
We always, I don't know. I keep referencing him today now. Yukon Jack from the Bear. He has a boat that will go on the river quite a bit during
I
the summer.
see that. That looks like
And
fun.
it's amazing. Like when never going on the river, and once you go, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. If you had a spot where you can go park your boat, get out quickly, go have a bite or something, get back on your boat and go, and also have where a patio where other people could come and just sit and watch the water. Edmonton's need to figure that out. Saskatoon, yes, amazing.
Saskatoon's downtown is so underrated. It is beautiful.
A lot of great spots to drink.
Yes, yeah. Along that,
Yes.
they really take advantage of their river valley, and it is different here in Edmonton because it's such steep banks, except by I was going to say the Ducey Dome, where the Riverhawks play.
Remax.
Like there would be Remax Field. There would be some opportunity there to develop that.
What's that whole Epcor
Yeah.
plant? And
the plant there.
that's the spot that if you could find a way to change that.
That would be humongous. That would be such
The
a.
Walterdale right there, and it's
But you could
go on the
there's
river, it's
there's
amazing.
people that float down the river too.
Yes.
You see quite a few of those river boats during the summer months.
Oh yeah,
That would be
Good
fun.
fishing.
We are,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
We used to fish along the banks down by Snow Valley. There, you get good fish.
really.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I see people fishing all the time there.
like even there and upriver and
I would
it's
fish out by
underutilized.
Devon. I'm not sure
For
I'd fish
sure.
by Sunridge, but the water sure changes
catch and
color as
release.
it comes through the city.
It's very clean water.
Yeah,
Edmonton has one of the cleaner waters you have. They've cleaned it up. The reason it is brown often is just the sediment that goes into the water after big rains.
it gets
But
churned
it's
up.
actually, it's not what it once was. It is actually really clean.
It's not what you think it is. Feces.
It's not that anymore.
Okay,
They've
good.
cleaned it up.
Is it amazing? Like towards the mountain, how crystal clear it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Makes its whole way here, and it's just
Yeah.
same water,
Same water.
completely different.
Yeah.
Well, is water blue?
It's clear.
It's clear, but you look at the ocean from the globe, it's blue. Riddle me that, Iwanyk.
The light spectrum,
this
all that
my-
crap.
Refraction.
All that is.
it refraction?
Is
Yeah,
it
I think you're
Is
right.
it a real photo?
Whoa! How much time do we have left?
Don't go there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we're almost done, actually.
Damon Jay's just opened a
he's-
can of worms.
Did we land on the moon?
That's a good question.
Yes.
Yes.
If we did, and I'm not saying we didn't, but if we did, why haven't we been there?
I haven't gone back?
Yeah.
Because why? I don't know.
Why not?
Because now we got to go to Mars?
Have we been there?
We're working on it.
Good question. I
trying to get there.
I'm just speaking as the devil's advocate here.
Sure.
As to
That's one I haven't
if we've been
fully
there, and two dudes walked around there, and
Yes.
you don't think all these billionaires out there, Virgin Mobile and Elon Musk,
They are trying.
couldn't strap? I know, but they did this in the 70s without freaking internet, man. And that, so
But they had like a team of people, and you have all this money being pumped
I'm sure they
in.
can find a team now.
They're trying. Yeah, Elon Musk is trying. His spaceships are blowing up every so often, though.
So
And he's wasted a bunch of money on X.
that would be the Hangout poll question today. Did we land on the moon? And explain why when you say other. Yeah, I mean, if they haven't been back, that's my only red flag for that whole thing. It's it's a good question.
Well, I'm just trying to think of a plausible answer.
There
that I
isn't
can
many.
give you. Well,
Maybe somebody on the text line will.
I'll
The
take a
Independent
quick
Jewelers
look here.
text line.
Maybe a bunch of people have and they haven't returned.
Ooh.
Damon's just handing out the real
Just saying.
That's the-
movers.
This is straight up. Nothing's coming in just yet, but that's making us think
No,
on
like-
this Friday.
Have you guys not seen like Despicable Me? How
I actually haven't.
Great show. You know, when you have young kids, there's some amazing animated shows to watch.
Paw Patrol took over a lot of my life for many a year.
Oh yeah,
Is it
not
good?
those shows
Yeah, okay, that's what
like
I figured.
Caillou and all that stuff.
Caillou should be
Banned.
banned. That's bad. That's teaching your kids
He's a
bad
bad
things.
egg.
He's a
But like
bad
some of the
little boy.
movies, right?
Oh, okay.
Some of them are so good.
Well, they make them so that you as a parent can sit there because you have to sit there and with your kids and
There's
watch
ways
it with them.
for jokes for the adults.
Yeah.
That's right.
We
They
had
find a way to
done.
mix that up where it's kids are laughing and then adults are laughing for something completely else.
right.
Yeah.
There's a new Puss in Boots one. I forget what it is. It's not on. We had to buy it because they watched it at a school movie day, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. A lot of those kind of things where it's adult humor, but the kids still think it's funny for some reason.
Well, and I mean, a lot of the voices are actors we would know. Like, is that Antonio Banderas?
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes,
so,
it
and
is.
even like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, like Mr. T.
Right.
You're like, kids are like, who's that? Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
You know? So I'm like, I know the voice. Keeps you engaged.
New age,
right?
I'm still a Shrek guy at the core. Like that's kind of the GOAT, I think, of that era. Old school, I got to go back to Robin Hood. I mean, that's the GOAT for the old school
Robin
Disney.
Hood. Rocket Robin Hood?
Robin Hood, man. Little John Robin Hood, walking through the forest, oodle lolly, golly, what a day.
Don't you
Well
remember
done.
Rocket Robin Hood? That's really old.
No, I don't.
Oh,
That wasn't Disney, though, was it?
no. It was
Like, this
on-
is the
it was like
Disney
Saturday
animated-
morning.
Pixar. Oh, Saturday mornings were the best.
They were awesome.
Kids these days will never know what it's like to
No.
wake up on a Saturday and watch your cartoons on TV.
Turn on Pro
and
Stars.
then watch Stampede Wrestling.
Yeah, I would flip
Right,
into
it's
whatever.
like, I'm staying in my pajamas all day.
And then CBC Sports Saturday.
That's right, too.
Where you'd get random things like,
They still do that kind of.
we're watching this equestrian event from
That is
Spruce
true,
Meadows.
Yeah.
You could go and they do some skiing stuff, which is great
Yeah.
when you're flipping around on that. But yeah, it's the kids will not know. Like for me, it was called One Saturday Morning. You'd wake up
Right.
one Saturday morning, and that was the thing, and then it would end, and yeah, it'd be ABC, so it'd flip over to whatever ABC's on next, and kids they just get their 24/7 cartoons, Monday through
Yeah.
Sunday, all of that. They could watch it all, but they don't know what it was like to on the weekend, how special it was.
That's right.
I love it. It's like
Yeah, the cartoons have really dwindled off. It's now a lot of we watch a lot of sports, to be honest.
good.
Like
You're doing it right.
That's good.
You know what they really like, which is it's hilarious, but they like NASCAR.
Interesting.
You turn NASCAR on or F1 like early Sunday
F1's
mornings.
great.
You turn that on, they are glued to it.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't really find it that entertaining, but that's not true. You can absolutely, if you dedicate like a Sunday afternoon to a NASCAR race and you're kind of into it, and because there's so much strategy and so much that goes into those races that is not, it's not just them driving in an oval. Like there is so
Right.
much that goes into it. If you immerse yourself in it and take the time to watch it tip to tail, it's actually quite entertaining.
I'm into the F1.
F1,
Kind
yeah.
of similar. I tried to get a NASCAR a few years ago. It just never did it for
There's
me.
just
but
not
F1
enough
is-
parity.
And seeing now I'm a soccer fan, and that's very much in soccer.
Very
Same,
in-
like
in
it's
line,
broken
sure.
down, and I can see why like the race for 5th and 6th, why it's so important. And
Have
that
you
type of
watched
stuff.
Welcome to Wrexham?
I haven't watched season 2 yet. I have it all recorded. I have like 11 episodes on my PVR that I'm
It
gonna
is
play on
really
yet.
good.
I gotta watch it.
It is really good.
Well,
It's-
and
I
that's-
heard it's good.
it's really
I have
good.
not watched it yet.
If you'd like to learn a little bit also behind the scenes of soccer, it was great. Like somebody with Ted Lasso was like, you got to watch Ted Lasso. You love soccer. It's like, okay. And I watched him like, this has nothing to do with soccer.
Right.
Right.
This is about good feeling, all that stuff. But soccer, like if I wanted to watch that for the soccer, I'd be picking a lot of holes with it because I'm like, this doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
I had no
But
idea.
Welcome to Wrexham was
Yeah.
great in
Like the
terms
FA
of
Cup.
the behind the scenes and
What's
seeing
the FA Cup?
building. Are you asking?
No, I'm just.
okay,
they
yeah.
explain it very
Yes.
well there.
Yes.
And it's like for me that I don't watch soccer.
No,
so
and that's
they,
the thing.
They explain that very well, and it's like, holy smokes, Wrexham like beats some of these teams. Like they're like the perennial underdog, but they've beaten some huge teams, right?
And they're not as loved, actually, Wrexham,
Really?
fully over there because they have the big money.
now
And there's all
with-
these other clubs that
Oh,
are sitting there
right.
like, oh, you've got the Hollywood money with you trying to get up, and teams hate Wrexham over there, want to beat Wrexham because they got the glory money.
That
as
makes a
opposed
lot of
to
sense.
we're trying to build something from here, and we're gonna take you down.
So
It's
who's
incredible.
your team?
I'm Manchester United.
Man, you okay?
Yep. Yep.
They're red, right?
Yep. Red Devils.
Red Devils. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we haven't been that good for a long time, so it's been a rough patch for us for a while.
And that's the other thing with soccer too, that is very hard to follow for the non-soccer fan, is all these transfers and moves and players' money, and they can, like Messi playing in Florida. Like, how the heck does that happen?
You asked it way too late. It's 10:57, and I have no time to
I'll put it
answer
in my
that
notes for next hangout.
Thank you, gents, for coming in. Thank you, Damon.
Thank you.
People want some info on how to sell a house.
On
do they do
how
that?
to sell a house.
If they want to sell their house, if they want to buy a house, how do they get a hold of you?
You
and not the
can-
full process.
Oh, no. It's my website, damonbunting.com. I'm on social media. My cell number's there. So text, email, sit down in person. Just like on the previous show, Dusty was saying, even if you don't want to talk about anything and just want to sit and just let's work through what you're feeling that day, I'm happy to sit down with you.
Do not call him for Shanks. That is ours.
Off limits.
That is EST property.
No.
Off limits.
Stay away. So website again?
DamonBunting.com.
Beautiful. And also free advice with Damon Bunting on the Nielsen Show. They could tune into Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
Yes, Wednesdays. Sorry, it's been a long week, but Wednesdays you can get free advice on the Nielsen Show, brought to you by Damon Bunting. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for coming in today. Coming up next, it is the Lock Shop. No Dusty because he's driving. Andrew Hustler Patterson, as well as the Cool Bet Boys. They will be on to get you set for the weekend and the NFL, maybe some CFL talk, a lot to get to with them. And then at noon, it's Tom Gazzola, Walking Gauge with the Oil Stream. We didn't talk much Oilers today. I'm quite thankful for that.
Good thing.
We don't need to get into that negative tone on this Friday.
Yeah, why
but
wreck a
they'll do
Friday?
it on the Oil Stream. They'll tell you what's wrong with the Oilers Heritage Classic coming up this Sunday. That's all to come here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as our YouTube channel. So keep it locked here. On behalf of Damon, Jay, I'm Matt Iwanyk. Enjoy your weekend. I will chat with you on Monday.